Some things are built over time, not just in moments, but in choices. It's how we live, day in and day out, and the way we show up for each other. Trust in those who dedicate themselves to others. Inclusiveness in those who bring people together to make a difference. Kindness in those who lift others up, even without words. Resilience in those who turn challenges into something greater. We're more than a club, because the greatest teams aren't just on the field. They're in the heart of county, in the people who give, inspire, and lead. One team, standing side by side, together, looking ahead.
Just dinks that one past short fine leg, and that one rattles away to the boundary, and it does. We get a hosepipe ban up here, we'll know who to blame. Off the toe end again, and there's a man out there who takes the catch looking into the sun. And that is first blood to Derbyshire Falcons. Then gone. A little skip and a jump of joy from Gazanfa. And that was a ripper of a delivery. The ball took an age to get to first slip off the outside edge. Just swings that into the offside. That's gone as well. Pat Brown takes the catch. It doesn't matter whether it's pace or spin, it's wickets here at the county ground.
Oh, an average looking shot this. I think he's trying to get it over deep mid-wicket. And not the most attractive looking shot, he just gets a top edge. And Pat Brown takes another simple catch, shouts mine, takes it comfortably. And this poor start has got even worse for the Rapids. Good from Derbyshire.
Oh, gone! Well, the break didn't do him any good. Lost the top of his leg stump. First ball.
Sal got it spot on. Bring Zach Chappell into the attack. I thought he may have stuck with spin, but it was spot on. Good decision. Ball that just nips back. Always looks to do that. Zach Chappell just pushes it back in.
Hat-trick ball. Well, you mentioned the word template just now. Worcestershire only one better with 4. Reverse sweep. When in depth.
Movement, and that's going to go all the way. Just full down the leg side, helped on its way. Ethan Bricks picks himself up. Into space it goes, and it will kiss the surface and bounce on. No.
T20 cricket professionally in this country. Oh, and that's you'll be annoyed with that, Samit.
Very cleverly played. Wide outside the off stump, and they've just... Once more the sweep employed, once more the sweep is...
Like that, in the air. In the air, but guess what? It's a maximum. That's single from his first 3 deliveries. Down, and it's so short, straight. Yeah! Both tried to go across the line. Brooks should have gone straight. While the left-hander is there, he's going to keep going. Go, 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 go! Oh, misfield. Little misfield.
Again, advancing down the pitch, 4 more.
High in the air, it's in the middle by Sexter fielder. They'll fly it all the way from a maximum.
Slam down the ground. Strong man, Ben Dwarshuis.
Oh, that's a shot.
Sweep, and it's going to go all the way. Boundaries are in by some considerable distance. It didn't. Knocked him over. The perfect riposte from Chappell. Field said pace off. Dwarshuis said thank you. Man out there is Whiteley. He came running in. I think the answer to that is yes. Good. He might have got his players mixed up in that last over. Finds the gap though. Again. Sure does, and does it excellently. That should be out. I think he's gone. Throw was perfect. In on the bounce, right over the top of the stumps. Rob White will have a look.
And Aaron Donald was adamant this is out. Dwarshuis thinks he's made it comfortably. Good running that. That is really good running. Sets himself up to take the last delivery.
Yeah, made it comfortably. Gives you an idea as to how sort of grippy the square is, because that ball took an age after it bounced. Even off the lush green grass. Another good Yorker, another chance at a run out. And I think Taylor's got home again. We'll have a look. Tom Lungley will look upstairs, but I think that might be a pair of twos to finish the innings. Got the first one wrong. What about this one?
And gets it bounce. That is good from Tom Taylor. Backing up Dwarshuis. So as you said, a pair of twos to finish and a recovery. Wow. They were 10 for 4 in the third over, and at the end of the 20 overs, the Rapids get themselves to 174 for 6.
For Hampshire. Edged is it? Edged is it? Umpire Lungley gives the decision. Sounded very woody.
Great shot. An Australian who will be very good at the cut. Nice shot. That is a good shot from Harry Kane. And he'll probably hit it. Bold, inside edge. Kane does like to work the ball through the offside, and Tom Taylor has his second.
Left arm. Oh, that's gone miles. Absolutely miles. Australian to Australian. Oh, cleaned him up. Hit me for 6. I'll show you what I've got. I'll hit the length, says Ben Dwarshuis. And much like the Rapids were.
Oh, it's gone up. It's gone up a long way. Two fielders looking at each other, and it's gone over the swung away down to the fine leg boundary.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, good challenge this for him as well, because Madsen in the air and taken.
And Dwarshuis back into the attack. 4 off that first delivery. Poor start to the over.
At this point.
Oh!
Hit towards that mid-wicket and the gap. Hit towards fine leg by Sexter fielders.
Wicket, pretty safe shot.
Oh! That is well bowled. And I can't believe this field again. Tom got him. A little bit slower, a little bit like Samit Patel, how he just better length, a little bit slower. It's good from Fateh Singh. Tom Taylor into the attack. It's a half volley, and it's another half century for Wayne Madsen. He's 33rd in T20 cricket. Gets it fine, and this will run away.
Short. pulled away. Oh, straight through the hands, should have been taken. He was perfectly set. Squeezed away, it's a really good shot. Full, he's picked the gap perfectly though. Low full toss. Wanted the two right from the off. Has to be quick now. They're going to take a look at this. The flaying dive has come in.
Umpire review.
Well, a couple of things that Rob White will have to consider is, has Finch actually taken this ball and hit the stumps? Does he? Oh, he's short. I think he's short here. When the bails come off, they only have to come out of the groove. His bat is slightly in the air now. I think he's gone. Decent piece of fielding from Adam Hose. Martin Anderson is run out.
Action pretty pacey, gets a bit of carry.
Yeah, four overs, number 27, wasn't it, yesterday? But he did
but
bowl better
really
than his
well
figures.
at the end. Yeah, he did. He bowled really well at the end. He's going to be bowling to Alex Davis, just waiting for the music to stop. In between overs, music here. Good crowd in tonight, baking in the sunshine. And here comes Shahzad from the New Road end. Davis drives a lovely shot, so he overpitches first ball, middle and leg. And Davis not going to miss out on that. Lovely shot from the Warwickshire skipper. Has kept his head still. Not a great deal of fuss about that shot. Just made sure he got a full bat on it. And that's a cracking shot. I generally have identified this year, and I've said it over and over again, a tendency amongst all the teams, certainly Worcestershire, quite a few other teams as well, to just go too hard at the beginning, trying to hit too many sixes, not just making sure they put bad balls away. That was perfect from Davis. That's also a very neat shot down to third man, and it bobbles down there, but Finch slides round and they only get 2. But a good start. He's taken no risks. He's taken 6 runs off the first 2 balls, and he's put the bowler under a bit of pressure. And that's all you need to do. And instead, we've seen a lot of teams coming out trying to hit 6s from ball 1, and it has produced some power plays like Worcestershire's last night that have been less than satisfactory, I think. Short from Shahzad. That will be 4 more. No, will it? Yes, it will. Half stopped, I think, but even so, it's a great start to this second over from Alex Davies' point of view. And I'd again reiterate what I just said. No risks being taken, just waiting for the bad ball, making sure you find the gap, quick scoring ground. And Shahzad, 10 off 3, is under pressure now. He really is. Otherwise, this is going to be a very expensive over. And Davis doesn't need to do anything else now other than just pick up a couple of singles. That will do nicely. And there's one of them, just steered down to third man. So nice start for the Bears.
I was going to say, we've seen in this competition, Frank, this year, actually, it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish, and that teams have managed to deal with high run rates in the last 5 overs or so.
Yeah.
It's about building a good platform and having wickets in hand late. Wasn't always the case. A few years where it was all about attacking the power play, going big.
Well, I think Worcester have tried to do that this year, not always successfully, especially when they've batted first. And they've been taken on the pad by this one. And they go through for a good leg bye because it hadn't run away very far. And even though Brett Dolliver was in quickly, they were comfortably home. I mean, Worcestershire's power plays, and the first game, 69 for 1 at Lancashire, that was good. 58 for 2 in the game against Yorkshire, which they won here. That was good. 43 for 3 at against Northampton here when they lost. 57 for 2. They've been steady, and then a couple of absolute disastrous ones. Ooh, Shahzad beats him. That's a good one. That's the one he needed to bowl first up, Jim, to put a bit of doubt in the batsman's mind. But as I say, they got the runs they needed off that over without really taking any risk. 12 runs came from it, and after 2 overs, they are 17 without loss. Yeah, if you go back to that game at Edgbaston, Worcestershire were 50 for 3. Not a bad start, but fell away badly, obviously, and only made 134. And the Bears struggled to get them. But then, you know, at Northampton the other day, we saw Northants doing it. They were 34 for 3 in their power play. It's not just
Taylor again.
Edged
and catch. Taken. What a grab that is! Goodness me! It flew at him. It was a difficult height, but what a grab! And Tom Taylor, he just takes wickets with the new ball. He's done it again tonight.
Henry Cullen, goalkeeper style. Put a wicket keeper in at slip. I always say that. If you've got a keeper and he's not keeping, put him in at slip.
Well, Cullen
sliced away. What a catch! They
Who's
needed
in?
that. They needed that.
in for Kashif, and it's a telling contribution because that ball flew. And you're right, Frank, they did need a breakthrough there. You saw with Shazad's over that at New Road, you've got to put it in the right areas. If you get your line and length wrong, you will go here. We've seen sides make 200.
It's a great catch by Henry Cullen. Leaping up above his head. An immediate congratulations from his fellow wicket-keeper. And Latham has gone for one, but it does bring the dangerous Dan Mousley to the crease. He was in sensational form against Lancashire the other day. Watching him stroking Jimmy Anderson to all parts of the ground was a sight to behold. I've just been chatting to his dad at some length, who sat in the New Road stand looking proudly on tonight, and you're getting an earlier look at his lad than he maybe would have hoped.
In comes Taylor again then. Just squared him up a bit. Squirts away off the edge. They take a single. It's good stuff from Tom Taylor. And if Cullen was nervous at the start of this one, that will have calmed him down plenty, I think. I always feel as a new player trying to make your name, you want to be involved as early as possible.
Yeah, didn't get much opportunity to shine at Northampton the other day. Came in at the end, just got a few runs not out at the end.
Good pace as well, looking for a little dab. Good shot
Pace.
wasn't there.
Good pace from Taylor. Looks a decent surface in terms of carry at the moment, this one. Been a lot of talk. Obviously there'll be people watching tonight who haven't seen cricket at New Road this year. Good evening to you if you are. Probably Bears fans watching, and they'll know that the pitches here in red ball cricket have not been conducive to batting. Well, in white ball cricket they've been a bit better, but you don't tend to see massive scores here in T20 at New Road.
Big shout. Umpire unmoved.
You tend to see the really big scores, in my experience, on grounds like Headingley, Edgbaston, Old Trafford, where they're big fields, lots of twos can be run and the outfields are quick. But here at Edgbaston, here at Visit Worcestershire New Road, what would you say, Jim? Over the last couple of years, I'd say par, probably about 170.
170, 180, isn't it? And if you go well, we saw this season they've cleared 200, so you can do it.
But it's tough. Although it is probably, you could say, maybe add 10 tonight to that par because of the nature of the outfield. Hushed atmosphere as Taylor comes in again. And again Davis is taken on the pad as he tries to work it away on the leg side. So good from Tom Taylor. One run off the over so far and a wicket. Can he? You know what we're going to say? Get out of the over. If he can get out, if this ball doesn't go to the boundary, then this is a very, very good over indeed from Tom Taylor. Worcestershire won the toss, chose to chase, having won batting first last night in odd circumstances up at Derby. Well, he doesn't get out of the over without it going to the boundary because he over pitches, and he is not going to miss out, isn't Alex Davis, on that. And again, it was a bit like the drive that I described in the second over. Perfectly balanced, stood still, brought the bat down straight, made sure that he found the gap, didn't try and hit it too hard, you don't need to. And he found the boundary. A beautiful shot. He goes to 19, 3 overs gone, the Bears are 22 for 1.
Well, one overseas player replaces another. Ben Dwarshus into the attack from the New Road end. Dan Mousley will face up. Davis doing a lot of the heavy lifting. He has 19 out of a total of 22. As Frank was just describing, all those runs have been well, they're quite classical cricket shots, really. In comes left-armer Dwarshus. Straight away, Mousley looking to be aggressive. Dwarshus pitching the ball up, looking for a little bit of movement. Bowled really well last night. Well, the whole bowling unit did, really. They had to. Particularly impressed, Frank, with the last 5 overs. Worcestershire haven't been great at the death. No. Last 5 overs, Finch included in that, of course, but Shazad and Dwarshus were excellent.
Changing his pace very well at the end.
It's left-hander to left-hander. Spoon to the air, it's a chance and dropped. It's D'Oliveira there. He's good in the field. He'll be disappointed. Difficult chance, Frank, but on a night like tonight, every opportunity you feel is going to be key.
Absolutely. Could be very, very important. Dan Mousley goes for a suspicious look at the pitch, just in case people are listening in. And Warwickshire fans, again, I'm thinking of you, and you say, why are they saying Mousley when everybody else says Mosley? It's Mousley. Believe me, it is Mousley. I know Dan, I know the family, and it is Mousley. It's just become Mosley because so many commentators have said it, and I think they've just got fed up with trying to correct it or whatever, but the family name is Mousley. Dad Richard, who played in Birmingham area for many years, here tonight. And they call him Mouse, of course, at Edgbaston. Well, he got away with one there.
Dwarshus into Davis, down the leg side, and it'll be called a wide. Well, there we are, that's a definitive, decisive, full clarification from Frank Watson. If you'd like any other cricketers' names
Don't ask
confirmed, particularly, you know, if it's Southeast Asian persuasion, now Sri Lankan league.
Only if I know them.
But it is a tricky one because it is Mousley, and most people say Mosley, and I'll go with whoever spoke last. That's the kind of guy I am. In comes Dwarshus, edged and gone. It's 2.
And it could have been 3.
Nick through to the keeper, just moved away. It was too close to cut. That was a feather of a nick through to Roderick. It's a good start, this, from Ben Dwarshus.
It's interesting, and I'm not saying this because I'm trying to be wise after the event or whatever, but you know, you just said too close to cut. I was saying earlier how he was playing shots exactly according to the ball and what it merited without doing anything unnecessarily innovative, and maybe you could say the first time he's tried to manufacture something, it's brought about his downfall. But I can understand why he did it, and there's no criticism attached to that in any way whatsoever. Dan Mousley's a bit suspicious about the pitch, that one that he chipped up, you know, on the offside. He's had another prod at it, but just watching that again, yeah, it is too close to cut, you're right. He ran one down to third man in the previous over that was similar to that, but on that occasion he was trying to actually force it a little bit more, and I think that's probably what brought about his downfall. But it's good from Ben Dwarshus. Could have had both Davis and Mousley in this over.
Well, it just goes to show, Frank, doesn't it? A little bit of pressure, just drying up those boundaries, drying up the run rate a little bit. Looking for a shot that wasn't necessarily there. Sam Hain on strike. And again, it's down the leg side. Again, it's going to be a wide. But Sam Hain, a thorn in Worcestershire's side for a fair few years now. What a good player he is. It doesn't really matter the format.
No,
he seems to have more answers.
He's done it this
than
year.
Most.
He did it. He batted better than anybody on either side here in the Red Bull game, which Warwickshire should have won and deserved to win, but were denied by the rain. And nobody, even the staunchest Worcestershire supporter, would deny that.
Dwarshus in again, and it's well left alone.
And of course, he held things together in that nervy run chase at Edgbaston a few weeks ago, when, in fact, a direct hit from a throw for a run out at the end would have won the game for Worcestershire. But it was Hain, again, who prevailed. And he and Bethel carried Warwickshire to victory here last year in a brilliant run chase.
Just squirted away. And hand on it by Finch. it means that Brooks can come in and complete the fielding.
I think they would have got back for two if Hayne hadn't slipped as he turned at the non-striker's end.
Yeah, he's looking in a little bit of discomfort there. But it's that engine room of his Bears side. Mousley, Hayne, Bethel to come in.
Well, and Barnard, you've got to put Barnard in that now as well, haven't you?
He's all right, he's
Extraordinary to think they left him out in the quarter-final last year. That's a lovely shot.
It is. They ran on the shot as well. So they'll take a single. And that will complete the over. Just 5 from it, more importantly though. Wicket of Bears skipper Alex Davies. So
Tom Taylor's going to carry on.
We don't mind this at all, really. He's never really been hugely effective the back end of an innings.
And now that they've got Shazad, who appears to be the chosen one when it comes to bowling at the death in company with Dorsius, with Jacob Duffy, the Kiwi, having finished his stint at New Road, it might be that we see Taylor bowl 4 at the beginning, or he might bowl these 3 and then have one around about 12 or 13. I think that's what happened last night.
Well, he has a knack of picking up wickets, doesn't he? So they might save him one. One more to the total then. Squirted away into the offside. .28 for 2, Frank. It's hard to see here. Feels like it's about par. I think Worcestershire actually might be slightly happier with how this has started. But you're right, at Visit Worcestershire New Road, you can, if you're not careful, find yourself 3 or 4 down in the power play, and we've seen that plenty.
Yeah. I don't think that's not going to happen now that Sam Hayne's out there, I don't think. The perfect man at number 4 for me. And unlucky not to get runs there, as Taylor sticks a big clog out and stops a straight drive.
Full disclosure, I was deeply hoping for a bit of commentator's curse there, Frank. Was that part of the plan?
No.
Or just endlessly praise Sam Hayne in the hope that he nicks one?
Well, I've endlessly praised him for the last 5 games and he hasn't, so... No, I mean, credit where it's due. He's just... you know, it's easy to say he's a thorn in Worcestershire's side, but he's a thorn in many teams, so just so consistent, isn't he? I just think he has an incredible ability to manage a situation. Not such a good shot this time, but, you know, manage a situation, whether it's a crisis, as it was last year, and he shepherded them through with Bethel, or again at Edgbaston this year, or whether it's a a difficult pitch and a duke ball seeming around. He just seems to have the mental capacity to cope and take those around him with him, and I just think he's a fantastic cricketer.
Well, there's the perfect example. Lovely shot. And that's gone all the way for 6. Well, he just passes the eye test, doesn't he? I mean, for me, he looks like an international cricketer.
Effortless. Beautiful shot.
The fans are screaming
yeah,
for...
They're changing it. It's 4. I didn't think it went all the way.
There's a bit of peer pressure there. We don't mind that. So the D'Oliveira stand away to our right.
75 people said 4. 1 man said 6. He thought better of it. Umpire Michael Burns, I think. It's a great shot anyway, whatever it was, 4 or 6. This time he's back, using the crease really well. Down the pitch to the previous delivery, back to that one, just running it away on the offside, and then skipping down the pitch. Sam Hayne, and sort of turning halfway there and just checking that there hadn't been a misfield. He looks so comfortable. Really does. Dan Mousley has looked a bit less comfortable tonight, but had a life dropped by Brett D'Oliveira. Unusual for him. Difficult chance, high over his head at short extra, but Mousley, I was watching the game against Lancashire the other night, and at one stage he was he was putting the great man to the sword. Wow. What a shot that is. That has gone all the way for 6. Reverse scoop. Amazing.
Just gently lapped it and it just kept going, didn't it? It's just astonishing.
Genius, isn't it? Just brilliant. Reverse scoop for 6. Well, I've coached Dan a bit in the past, Jim, but I can't say I taught him that one.
Yeah, well, the modern manuals might well have that one in there, but
amazing, it was just shot. He just played it so well, didn't he? And I was watching Ethan Brooks last night, you know, playing similar shots at Derby, and they just do it with such comfort, don't they? How do they know that he's going to bowl it there? It's just amazing. Great shot.
Shazad back in to the attack, tucked into the leg side. They'll think about 2 here. Brooks has got to run a long way around to his right. They'll get 2 as well comfortably. Well, with those shots, you seem to, the players that seem to be really effective at it go late. They can make the switch quickly.
Yeah.
And the ones that kind of look to get in position early or kind of premeditate it, sometimes it's more luck than judgment. But it was the quick switch.
Yeah. Do you know what? I think what they do, and again, you know, I have talked to players about it. I think they go early, but they have that ability to make a change if need be. So if it is where they expect, then all well and good. If it's not, they come up with something else.
It's cut away. It's beaten the man in the ring, so they'll get another 2.
I think it was Isaac Mohammed, wasn't it? He did it in his first game here when he went in and made. Did he make? Yeah, I think he made 30. Did he?
He did 32.
Which game it was, and he
against Durham.
He did one like that where he got into position early, and then the ball wasn't at all where he thought it was going to be, and he still came up with something else. That's the calmness, isn't it? It's that ability to not be phased. Extraordinary. I suppose they just practice it so much, don't they?
Shazad into Hain. It's caught the edge. It's beaten the man on the dive, though.
Bold.
It is unlucky, but the upshot is it's another boundary.
Hain just indicates to Maz that he thinks it just did a little bit away from him, off the seam. Skidded away past Fateh Singh at short third. Should he have stopped it? Maybe. Flying along though, wasn't it? Suddenly, these two have added 23 in no time.
Well, as impressive as he was last night, Shazad is expensive this evening. Shorter ball pulled away. That's going to be 4 more. Got on top of the bounce really well. Rotated the wrists. It brings the 50 up, and the shouts of "You Bears" can be heard around a capacity crowd here at Visit Worcestershire New Road. This sold out weeks ago.
Beautiful shot.
And
beautiful shot. Perfect execution. You watch the replay of that. You could clip it and put it into a coaching video, couldn't you? Inside the line, arms fully extended, rolled the wrists over the top of it. Beautiful shot. 2 balls left still in the over. Slower one.
Well, it means that Fateh Singh can complete the fielding this time. They'll take a single. It's been pretty low risk cricket, but all of a sudden, Bears look in good shape.
Yeah, I think it's a decent power play, isn't it? 50 for 2. Just exactly what we were talking about before. Haven't tried to do anything too drastic. Lost a couple of wickets, entitled to do that. Maybe Mousley was lucky not to get caught, but the 50 is up. Last ball of the power play, and driven for a single. Thrown by Dorsius, but Hain would have been in, I think. End of the power play then. 52 for 2. The Bears 53 for 2. 14 runs, sorry, coming off. that over. And as I say, what are we saying, Jim? Par for a power play? Maybe, yeah, I'd say par.
It's
par.
it's about right, isn't it? It's about right. Well, it looks like Adam Finch is going to be the change, so as was suspected, 3 overs from Tom Taylor at the top of the innings. He'll probably, well, they often use him as a strike bowler to try and break a partnership in those middle overs. These two going along nicely.
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest over of the power play, that last one, the 6th, 14 runs from it. Here is Finch.
Short and
as he
just
pulls that for 1. It's very, the one thing we ought to, well, we don't need to say, I was going to say, it's probably the most obvious thing in the world, it's very hot out there. And it is. And it probably is at every game around the country. The others haven't started yet, but I think one at Merchant Taylor's might have started, but it's very, very warm. It's not just the bright sunshine. The temperature was 35 degrees as I arrived here at the ground today. That's pretty hot to play cricket in, I think. And that might have been one of the factors considered by the captains at the toss. Good from Finch, blocked by Hayne, treats that on its merit. In the sense that, you know, you might think, well, normally we'd have a bowl, but tonight it's so hot, maybe we'd rather be out there batting and not going out to bat after we've all been out in the heat for an hour and a half. But if that was a factor, it was dismissed by Brett D'Oliveira when he won the toss and decided to have a bowl first. Oh, Hayne gets lucky here on the walk, looking to whack it over the leg side, leading edge over short third man, could have easily gone to hand, didn't, landed safe, he got a 1. Good start from Adam Finch. Restored to the side recently after considerable absence. He's only played 3 championship games this season. This is his 6th game in the Blast. Nicely played by Mousley, just waits for that, cuts it away on the offside, thinks about 2, but not going to get back as Adam Hose is quickly round the boundary on the far side of the ground, riverside, as we look across this beautiful scene at New Road. Full house tonight, sold out, cathedral looks magnificent as you can see, and it's a really good atmosphere. It's not quite the atmosphere you get in the big grounds, Trent and Edgbaston. It's got a different feel to it, but equally exciting as Hayne pulls a short one from Finch for another single. And as I say, capacity crowd, really enjoying it. And I'd say it's probably, you know, 60-40, 70-30 Worcestershire fans, but plenty of Bears fans here, and making themselves heard, enjoying a few drinks, a few ice creams, a few hot dogs. It's a great English county cricket scene. As Finch bowls, and good pace. Mousley taking on the pad to go through for a leg bite. Good over from Adam Finch. Finishes with the Bears on 57, 58. Just always catches me out of that score, but just ticks over just a little bit later than I expect. 58 for 2. So 5 runs coming from that first over after the power play.
Yeah, good over from Finch. We've actually seen it's been a little bit cat and mouse, hasn't it? It's been a good over followed by a not so good over. Finch in control there. Both players looking to be aggressive against them as well. Both Hayne and Mousley in that over. Walking down the wicket to the fast bowler. It's going to be pace off now, though. Ethan Brooks, former Bears all-rounder, of course.
Same age group as Mousley. They grew up playing cricket together, these two. Brooks is in and Mousley
Swept away. Great shot. 4 runs. Bisects the 2 fielders out in the deep.
Yeah, they played in the same team, under 12s, under 13s, under 14s, under 15s, all the way up at Warwickshire. Mousley getting his bow in the first team a bit sooner than Brooks, and has gone on to establish himself in no uncertain terms. But let's be honest, Ethan Brooks, having to move to Worcestershire to get those opportunities, has also established himself pretty quickly as well.
That's 4 more.
Beautiful sweep from Mousley. He's very difficult to bowl at. He's got shots all around the wicket. He can go big, he can reverse. He's, as I say, I think he's a challenging bowler, a challenging batter to bowl at. And Ethan Brooks, well, he's been put under pressure, hasn't he? This scoring boundaries at the beginning of the over. Very good from Mousley. Doesn't need to do anything drastic in the rest of this over now. And he's out. No, he's not. He's got 4 more. I beg your pardon. I thought he'd been bowled. He's gone for the reverse and he's got a bat on it. So there you are. In a way, I'm sorry if I gave someone a heart attack then when I said he was out. I thought he was walking off. He was just going for a stroll. The ball had gone down to fine leg. I'm just watching the replay now, and he's got a nick on it, and it's then gone off his pad. He's got lucky, to be fair, watching the replay. Didn't really mean it to go there. He's got a nick on it, hit his pad and went away down to fine leg in the end, as he was trying a reverse. But it doesn't matter. It's 12 off 3 deliveries. And the Bears have raced on to 70 for 2. Brooks' response is, oh, he's done him there, Brooks, and I almost expected to see Gareth Roderick taking the bails off. In fact, he got a glove on it. I think Roderick took the pace off it, and it was down to short fine leg, and they got a single, and it was a wide because it was down the leg side. But that said, I stand by my judgment that Brooks did him in the air, really, or with a clever change of pace. But that's the game. Small margins, and they got 2 runs from that. As Brooks is into Hayne, who goes back in the crease to a slow, loopy away swinger, and he can't time it. Funny old over this from Ethan Brooks. 12 off the first 3. Unlucky then. Well, unlucky with the 3rd one, unlucky with the 4th one, and then Hayne almost deceived by lack of pace on that one. Expensive over though, and it's not over yet. Short this one, cut away for a single. So Ethan Brooks brought on, might just bowl the 1, might bowl a couple. It's a bit of a gamble, but Dan Mousley very cleverly thinking, well, I'm not going to let him just get away with a nice easy one here. I'm going to put him under pressure straight away. And he continues that with another lovely shot, clipped away on the onside, perfectly placed. Expert batting. I mean, this is top class from Dan Mousley, let's make no bones about it. Been praising Hayne to high heaven. Well, Mousley in that over found the boundary 4 times, lucky with 1 of them, but that last shot, absolutely expertly, but he knew exactly where the gap was, knew exactly what he was doing, and that is a very, very good over for the Bears. 19 runs coming from it, just what they needed when they need to accelerate. Dan Mousley, the man. 8 gone, 77 for 2.
Well, a very neat and tidy over from Finch was followed by an expensive one. And the theme for the day has continued. Bears looking for a really solid platform here. And Fateh Singh, for the most part in this competition, Frank, actually, Fateh would come on straight after the power play. You saw him bowl on the 7th over a lot. They've held him back in recent games.
Yeah, they've, like I say, they said at the start of the year that they had an idea of how they wanted to play T20 cricket. A blueprint was the word that was used.
In comes Fateh Singh, looking for the little reverse.
And
it's dabbed down, and it's a chase on for Shazad. Will he get there, or will the ball win? Oh, it wasn't entirely convincing, but I think he's done a good job for his side there. Saved a run. But it's a slightly more tricky affair for the left-arm slow bowler when you've got these two set. Going at a good lick as well.
Yeah, and they stuck to that blueprint for the first 3 or 4 games, and then 1 or 2 games didn't go right. 1 or 2 injuries happened. Captain missed a game, and things started to change and get tweaked. And then Jacob Duffy has gone, and Curram's come in, and they seem to have changed. And it's been a bit more on the hoof in the last few games.
Good looking drive. Think about 2. They won't take on Tom Taylor's arm though, so it'll just be a single. Well, I suppose you want to avoid being predictable, don't you?
Yeah, there's a balance, isn't there? Northants at the start doing everything the same. First 6 games, won all the games, went off like a house on fire, and they've hit the buffers a bit. So, yeah, maybe you need to freshen it up at some point. You just need to be confident about what you're doing, don't you?
It's a watchful from Sam Hain.
I suppose the bottom line, Jim, is that you need the players to do what the plans are, to carry out the plans. It doesn't always work that way. When it does, you look really good.
Good looking shot that. And Tom Taylor jogs after it.
Placement.
Effortless, elegant, stylish. And it's the Sam Hain show yet again, Frank. They'll need to see the back of him sooner rather than later, the Rapids, or they're going to be facing a sizable total, you feel, here.
Well, it was Wayne Madsen last night at Derby, who always seems to get runs against Worcestershire. If anybody does it more frequently than Wayne Madsen, probably Sam Hain. But that just tells you what a good player he is. There's probably other counties that say exactly the same thing.
What's Singh's reply? On the back foot this time in cutaway. Mistimed, so it will just be a single. And it hasn't been a bad over from Fateh Singh, but with 1 ball to go, 9 from it. And as you were alluding to, Frank, it's a hot old evening. We're still north of 30 degrees here to be chasing the level back. That's just into the leg side, a chance for a catch. And he's done really well, actually. Cullen. It fell short of him as a catch, but as he was riding the boundary, he was almost quite literally on a tightrope there. Very aware of his foot and its proximity to the boundary rope. So he'll have the gloves, he'll take blinders in the slips, he can do a bit of boundary riding as well. Talented youngster, signed a new contract, of course. That means he'll stay at Visit Worcestershire New Road until 2027. Gareth Roderick, well, you're going to have to pry him out of the first team with a crowbar and a bad attitude, I think, Frank, because Rodders has been ever present, it feels like, for about half a decade.
Yeah, I think Henry Cullen will play in the One Day Cup this year. I think he'll have the gloves in the One Day Cup. That's my guess. I think they've got to give him a bit of an extended run. They've given him a new contract.
Will Rodders open the batting though? He did so well last year in that competition. Yeah. He always wants to play, doesn't he?
He does.
As Adam Finch has a change of ends. New Road End. And gloved, has he gone? He has gone. And Worcestershire needed that.
They did. They really did.
And on Finch's return to the attack, an immediate response. Dan Mousley goes for a very dangerous 31 from 16. He'll be frustrated, the Warwickshire, the Birmingham batter, sorry. He was out for 32 on Wednesday, 31 this time. Really good platform. He'll have wanted to go on, but Adam Finch bowled well last night. He's done well on his return to the side.
63, that partnership between Mousley and Hain in just 6 overs. Pretty impressive stuff.
Wow, the man who
looks disappointed, but he's played brilliantly.
The man who's strolling out to the middle to join Sam Hain, Jacob Bethel. What a talented young player he is. And these two have fond memories of Visit Worcestershire New Road.
Yeah, this time last year they were in trouble,
nothing for 4, and these two guided their side home.
It was a brilliant performance from these two. It was measured. It was so measured. Jacob Bethel is a more mature cricketer than he is then. He also caught 2 incredible catches that night, if I remember rightly. But Worcestershire needed that wicket. They really did. Very expensive over from Brooks, went for 19. The next one went for 10. Just had to put a break on it. Wickets is the best way, usually.
In comes Finch, the left-handed Bethel, chipped into the leg side, and he's off the mark straight away. But this is a good platform for the Bears. 88 for 3. We're not yet at the halfway point. Finch was miserly in his first over, started well in his second. Can Worcestershire try and eke out another? As Cullen moves in to mid-wicket. So he's going to field everywhere this evening, it seems. In comes Finch then. Deep in his crease and just dabbed, beaten the man at backward point. And they'll look for 2, and they'll get it at a canter. So Finch doing a good job here of just keeping a lid on things. It felt like it was starting to get away from Worcestershire a little bit. Importance of taking a wicket, slow the run rate. Finch then steaming in. And another dot ball. Just 3 from the over. 2 to come. Thane on strike, he'll be looking for his boundary option where he can get value for his over. But he's used the very depth of his crease against Finch, has Haynes so far. And again he goes back and then swivels the pull shot, and Brooks, who's so good in the outfield, make sure it's only a single, and it's suitably appreciated by this bumper crowd here at Visit Worcestershire New Road. And it's fantastic to see that although it hasn't been the case everywhere, ticket sales for the Blast in this part of the world have gone up this year, with the food village and live music. Good atmosphere here in the glorious sunshine. In comes Finch again. There's plenty of edge on that, but it's going to go all the way.
Ooh,
I think Shazad was chasing round, but he couldn't get there. Roderick says 4. The crowd shout 4.
There's no justice, is there really? Adam Finch will be saying he's done him completely. On him, good pace, top edge. Could have gone anywhere. Could have gone straight up. Could have been caught by the wicketkeeper. Could have gone to Shazad. Goes to the boundary.
Well, what would have been a fantastic over ends up costing Adam Finch 8, but the important wicket of Mousley. It is harsh sometimes, isn't it? Who'd be a bowler?
So 95 for 3 at the halfway point. That's above par by our reckoning, Jim. I mean, you've got to be looking at 200 if you've got 95 off the first half. 200 here, I think, is a very good score. But they're well set to get it. These 2 fine players at the crease, and Ed Barnard still to come. George Garton, who can hit a long ball. Singh starts a new over. Hayne just milks him really for a single. Don't think we should have been bad tonight. Obviously dropping Mousley when he had 1 isn't ideal. Mousley took to Brooks and put him under pressure in that over that went for 19. But nor have they been particularly special. Singh with a quicker delivery, turned away by Bethel.
Well, the deliveries that haven't been great have gone. That's really important. They've put away the bad ball. The first one from Brooks' over was in the slot, really. The second one was pulled back a bit. It was just really good inventive batting, wasn't it? It's been a combination of cashing in on a bad ball, but actually just having, the batsmanship's been excellent.
But you look at Sam Hayne, who's taking another single here. He's 35 off 25, and yet can hardly really remember. I mean, he strode down the wicket and hit one back over the bowler's head. He's just, as you say, put the bad ball away. I can remember quite a few shots Mousley played. Can't remember that many that Haynes plays. Just tremendous batting. And that's a tremendous shot from Bethel. Over long off for 6.
No,
he's caught. It's a tremendous shot from Bethel. But Ben Dorsus is a very tall man. And he was on the boundary at long off. He kept his eyes on that. He kept his feet in the road. Bethel maybe just didn't quite middle it. And he's caught literally on the road. I mean, I reckon his foot was 6 inches inside. So that's a real bonus. Good from Fateh Singh, who has had the courage to give it some air. And good from Ben Dorsus, who kept his calm and made sure he made the catch. Perhaps you could say that Bethel didn't need to do that. Worcestershire have got another wicket, which they needed. I would now say, Jim, with 10 overs remaining, virtually half the innings remaining, these two are absolutely key. It might be so obvious to say that, but the big, 4 decent batters gone. Ed Barnard, absolutely a good batsman. By no means a bowling all-rounder. I mean, Ed Barnard is for me, if anything, he's a batting all-rounder. Quite capable of playing the big innings here, but if these two are still in with 5 more overs gone, then I think Warwickshire are going to have a basis for a very big score. If they parted in the next 2 or 3 overs, Worcestershire might hope that they can pull the Bears back a bit. Wow.
First ball dispatched. Well, the intent's clearly going to be there, but you're right, Frank. Ed Barnard's in really good form as well, off the back of 54 on Wednesday night against a good Lancashire bowling attack as well. But those 2 wickets just mean that they'll be wary of what's behind them, these 2 batters. But it was an interesting approach. It's tricky, isn't it? I mean, Jacob Bethel, you think, does he need to take on long off like that? Probably not. But he's been in and around the England setup for a fair while now, in all formats, and that Ben Stokes effect that says if that's your shot and the ball's there, you play it regardless.
Yeah.
So I think a few years ago it'd be daft. I think these days the attitude is rather different. It's not, whether you or I subscribe to it, and I think I can probably get, most people have guessed that neither of us necessarily subscribe to that as an approach, but
it's how you get the really big scores, isn't it?
Yeah.
And when people play these innings, these amazing innings like Nyron Donald the other night, for example, where he got 50 off 13 or something, you don't do that if you're a shrinking violet. And Jacob Bethel, well, look, when he hit it, I said it's a beautiful shot, and it was. Just didn't quite have the legs, did it?
Well,
it's Taylor again.
Tom Taylor in from the New Road end. Change of ends. And they'll look for 2 if they're quick. But they'll be kept to 1. Brooks is there to do the fielding.
I thought he might bowl over number 12, Taylor. This will be his last. Before this, 3 overs, 1 for 22.
Well, in years past, they've tried him at the death. It hasn't really worked, but his value is that he just has this knack of picking up poles early on, Frank. That's where his value is. And particularly with that new ball, the ability, those big hooping in-swingers to the right-hander. Don't see so much of it in the middle overs, but in he comes. And good start to the over, a single and a dot. And Barnard rather more circumspect than he was with Fateh Singh.
He's I thought when Barnard, his last season with Worcestershire, was the best batsman in the club, I thought, by a long way, in red ball cricket. He's developed his white ball game, and he can go big, but he's so inventive, isn't he? He can score a lot of runs behind the wicket. Very clever.
Goes deep in the wicket, and the crease rather, big swoosh. But Taylor beats the bat.
But it won't. The other thing about Ed Barnard, I think, is he's pretty cool. That won't worry him too much. He'll put that out of his mind straight away. My grandson Hal has come to say hello. It's his first big game tonight,
He's a handsome
enjoying
devil.
it?
He's a handsome devil. He can't be related to you.
He is a
can't
handsome
be related
devil.
to you, Frank.
No, he's got his mum's looks. No, he's a handsome devil. Got his granny's looks, I should say.
That's well played, sir. Good politicking. In comes Tom Taylor. A slower ball this time.
Bold.
And Cullen's after it. Of course he is. He's been in the game plenty. He does a good enough job of getting to the ball early and preventing the two. So just a single that time. Well, Frank's family are here. It's good to see.
He's just starting on his cricket career at Ombersley Cricket, going on Friday night to the old All-Stars.
That's it. Get them while they're young. That's the stuff.
Just enjoying it. Won't let me teach him anything at the moment.
He
doesn't. No, I don't want you to show me how to hold the bat. One day. We're going on holiday soon. I'll get him on the beach. Play a bit of cricket, I think.
Taylor again. Deep in the creases, Hayne drops it in the offside. It'll be another single. And, there's overthrows there.
No. Yes. 1. Could have been 4.
Well, it wasn't necessary either way. And that's going to annoy Tom Taylor.
Yeah, it has. It has annoyed him.
Has it come off the batsman? Is that the query there? I think that the throw in the ball might have been diverted.
Have to watch a replay.
Yeah, the tricky bit is we are square of the wicket here from our little commentary pod, which meant the angle was tricky to...
We do have a monitor, but the temptation is to look out of the window rather than look at the monitor. It is what it is. A grumpy Tom Taylor then.
Well, if you're going to be a fast bowler, you've got to have a grump on. That's standard. In he comes. Slower again. And it's going to be a wide. Just floats down leg side. So a little frustrating this towards the end of Tom Taylor's spell. 1 ball left to come of a legal persuasion. Run rate just above 9 for the Bears. Haynes still there, 38 not out. And fended off that one, and that's a good delivery to end proceedings. And Tom Taylor's bowled out. Good effort from the all-rounder.
Yeah, really good effort. 4 overs, no maidens, 1 for 27, I think.
It is.
And that is, yeah, you know, pretty much in keeping with the sort of figures that he's been turning in. 4 overs, 2 for 33 last night, 2 for 22 on Sunday, 1 for 33, none for 34. He's not gone for huge numbers.
What a great shot that is. Inside out, over extra cover, a little shimmy down the wicket.
Superb.
High class batting.
Absolutely superb. He comes down like that, doesn't he? And we're watching from side on, as we've said. We have got monitors, so we are also able to see the camera view. But he comes down the pitch and you think, oh yeah, if he misses this, he'll be stranded. But not only does he hit it, he knows exactly where it's going, between the 2 fielders on the offside boundary. Not so good this time. Bit of a mess of that one, going for the reverse hit. There's 2 men in there at short third and backward point, so he knows if he gets anything on that, it's a boundary. And that's exactly how he's thinking. He's planning where the next boundary's coming from. And there it is. Quicker ball. It's almost as though he knew it was coming. Just helped it on its way. Barnard this time. Difficult to bowl to, I think. As I said earlier about Dan Mousley, these players that can play all around the wicket are very difficult to bowl to, Jim. Very difficult. Down the pitch again. Gone big again on the offside. 6. Magnificent shot.
It's on the bare edge of the marquee. The hospitality had to hide their beers. It's such a good shot. I think, Frank, you're right. We're seeing the evolution of Ed Barnard as a white ball batter. He was making big hundreds in the county championship and looking every bit a classy operator.
But he's improved, hasn't he?
Oh, no question about it. And that's going to be 4 more, I think. Is he going to get there? He is. It's a good bit of fielding. But a good over for Worcestershire, followed by an expensive one.
Yeah,
16
really.
from it with one more to come. Fateh Singh normally so economical. A push for two here. Go against it in the end.
17 from that over.
We found that his sweeping, his lapping, his reverses have gotten an awful lot better. And actually, when he uses the crease a little bit more, he uses his feet and then uses the depth of the crease, he just asks a lot more questions of bowlers, I think. He was always a talented batter. You felt with white ball when he was at Worcestershire, particularly in T20, he had a couple of favourite shots that he'd revert to.
Yeah, he's evolved, I think. There's no doubt about that. He made 100 at Trent Bridge the year before he left against a not side that included Stuart Broad on a difficult pitch with the Duke ball.
Ben Dwarshus back into the attack from New Road End.
And he gets a single here. And I said at the time that I thought it was the best 100 I'd seen for Worcestershire since Graham Hick retired, and I'd stand by that. It was in a losing cause, but as you say, he was good in white ball then, but now, I mean, what a player to have coming in at 6 in your white ball team, as he's proved. He's 23 off 12.
Little flick of the wrist there. That's such a lovely shot. Brooks has got some work to do here. Is he going to get there? He isn't. It's a beautiful cricket shot all along the carpet. Just flick of the wrist on drive. Beautiful stuff. 4 runs.
And Hayne is doing what Hayne does all the time, isn't he? In this format, when Warwickshire play well and get a decent score, you generally find that somewhere in the middle of it, Sam Hayne will have been orchestrating things. Just knows exactly how to play. If Barr's got out now, he'd just carry on and let somebody go at the other end as well.
A little short arm jab out into the leg side. Henry Culler's there to do the fielding. There's a calmness to Sam Hayne and the way he operates. Whether he's feeling nerves or he's feeling frantic internally, you'd never know. A man who just seems to be in control of his craft. Dwarshus, though, on his way into former rapid. Ed Barnard, who's skied this up. Roderick's underneath it. He's got the gloves on. He's given a call. He's had to dive for it, but he's taken it in the end. It was up in the air for an absolute age. A white ball in a blue sky. But Rodders has safe hands. And again, just when Worcestershire needed one, they have one. It's Ed Barnard has it apart. And, well, a swashbuckling 23 from 12 deliveries. But again, it's Dwarshus back into the attack, taking the wicket. And it's a good bit of captaincy from Brett D'Oliveri, you have to say. Barnard looking again to clear the rope. And it brings George Garton to the wicket. Sam Hayne still there, but Worcestershire just plugging away, picking up wickets, keeping themselves in the game.
Interesting stat, this. So they added 32 for that 5th wicket. Hayne scored 5 off 2 deliveries in that last over. So the remaining runs scored were scored by Barnard. He has dominated that partnership. Haynes allowed him to do that. They know they can do this. Garton can now come in and play in exactly the same way. He'll do it differently. He won't be as subtle as Barnard. He'll try and whack it. Worcestershire's best chance now is to keep taking wickets. And that sounds obvious, but that's how you slow the scoring rate down in the last few overs, isn't it?
Dwarshus to Garton. Garton cuts away. Good stop by who else? Henry Cullen. He's at backward point now. Stick him where you like, gang. Talented young cricketer. Slated to come in at number 6 today in replacement of Kashif Ali, who again misses out. Super talent, but just struggling to stay fit. But saved his side some runs there. Left armour to left armour. Dwarshus to Garton. It's a bumper. It's good delivery as well. He's thinking about it. The umpire goes against it. And it's a good over in the end. 6 from the first 3 balls, followed by wicket, ... So Dwarshus is living up to his overseas billing. And I'm taking all credit for it, Frank, because I went to go and get my hair cut last week, and he was in there. And I gave him a little pep talk, didn't I?
Oh, did you?
And you'll be surprised to know he didn't look particularly impressed with me.
Did you tell him about? I think you need to change your pace a bit more in the later overs. Was it something along those lines?
Well,
or was it just get that tash trimmed a little bit more? Was it?
Well, I want it
bit
more,
of both.
I want it slightly bushier, if anything. I think you're too refined, you're too polite. Could be a bit more angry.
Yeah.
Can we have a bit of Aussie paceman rage,
Well,
please?
he's caught a good catch tonight, as well as picking up a couple of wickets. Gave it a good biff last night, and so far tonight, 2 overs, 2 for 11.
In comes Finch. That's a good start too. Well, I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? We saw with Mitchell Santner when he came back after an extended period in the IPL and playing franchise cricket around the world. I mean, Ben Dwarshuis is a batter this time round. He's limited in what he does, but he's so much more effective than the first time we saw him, both at Worcestershire and when he had a season at Durham. That playing this franchise cricket, that these lower middle order batters and these bowlers who can hold a bat, so much better at range hitting. As Finch comes in again, Fuller this time. That's another dot ball, and again every dot ball roundly applauded by the Rapids fans here that visit Worcestershire New Road, watching their side do their absolute utmost here to stay in the game, keep this formidable Bears batting lineup under wraps.
Yeah, they're going to get over par. If we say par's 170, maybe say 180 on a night like tonight, I would imagine they're going to get over that. Unless the Rapids can keep nicking wickets out. 3 dots helps, doesn't it? Hayne is not a man who ever really appears to be under pressure, but I think he is just a little bit under pressure, having played out 3 dots.
Well, I think he
not
does
perhaps as much as Finch, and I think he's going to look to go straight now. He's got a man out at deep mid wicket, man out at backward square, mid off and mid on are in the circle. Finch is probably going to bang this one in. Indeed, just into the pitch and just worked away on the onside by Hayne for a single. So 1 off the first 4 is good, very good from Adam Finch, really good in his 3rd over, and he's 1 for 13 at the moment, which is outstanding figures. If he can finish the over without going to the boundary, that would be really impressive. Even if Garton were to get him to the boundary once, wouldn't be too bad. What he doesn't want is to give him any freebies, really. And there you go, 6 into the leg side. That's not a bad way to hit the first ball that you've faced from somebody. He's faced 3 balls, Garton, 2 dots and 1 into the top deck of the hospitality suite at the New Road end, just swivelling round, really beautifully played. There's another one who's played franchise cricket all over the world, Garton. Been on the wrong end of it a bit last year, for example, and Matthew Waite took him for 34 in the last over up at Edgbaston, but he's rather spoiled this over from Finch. 4 balls, conceding just 1. Does not want this to go to the boundary as well. He's in, he bowls, and it doesn't. Clipped away on the onside just for a single as Ethan Brooks comes off the ropes at mid-wickets field. So it's still a pretty good over, but spoiled by that one big hit from Garton. 8 runs came from it, 15 gone. The Bears are 138 for 5.
Well, it was a cracking shot. Moved outside off stump. Supposed to be a fast bowler, Frank. He just shoved it across outside off stump, flicked it away for 6. Fabulous hitting.
I won't tell him you said that. Hey Finchie, you're supposed to be a fast bowler. He's actually bowled.
No, I meant George Carton's supposed to be a fast bowler.
Oh, I see what you mean. Sorry.
It's a representation of the fact that.
But going back to Finch, came back in at Hampshire, didn't he, in the last Red Bull game? Since then, he's been aggressive in all his cricket, and I think he's a better bowler when he's aggressive. Karam Shazad is back into the attack at the New Road end.
Well, he's been expensive so far, 2 overs for 25. Facing up to Garton, who's on the charge here. And And it is an interesting combination, isn't it? You see Sam Hain seems to play with absolutely no ego at all, calmly thinking about what his role is when things were getting quiet, or he doesn't panic. When Ed Barnard was being aggressive, he wasn't trying to follow suit and join in. No. It's clearly a role here that George Garton's going to come in and be aggressive, and they're going to play around him until the last couple of overs.
Definitely. He knows his game, doesn't he? He knows his game so well.
Kamran Shahzad beautifully last night. Lots of dots, lots of singles, but he's been sent to the boundary plenty so far tonight as Garton hooks this out towards Cullen, who takes another catch, and Shahzad likes that, and as well he might. Garton charged him.
Hain.
And also, forgive me, it was Hain. Well, that's a vital wicket.
It is a big wicket.
Straight down Henry Cullen's throat. Didn't have to move. And he was well set. Oh, it's a big wicket for the Rapids.
Hassan Ali is the new man. Sam Hain played well.
Yeah, really classy knock. But look, these two are boundary hitters.
Yeah.
But they won't have wanted to be in this early. And last 6 overs or so, Rapids have done well to drag themselves back into this game. 4 wickets in the last 6 overs. In comes Shahzad. Hassan Ali, that's a bumper. It's going to be a wide as well. Just a bit too short. 2 Pakistani internationals. Plenty of experience between these two. Both medium fast bowlers. Both, well, not the archetypal size for quick bowling, but effective nonetheless. In comes Shahzad again, and punched into the offside. They'll have a single. But such an important breakthrough. I was pleased when I thought it was Garton, but Hain has the ability to be so dangerous. This one pushed down the ground. They'll think about 2. They're going to go for it. And they make it comfortably. Really good running, actually. Made the decision early. And Garton's got a little bit of a swagger on him. And that's okay. As you say, Frank, he'll have a bit of revenge on his mind when it comes to the Rapids. Historically hasn't done great against us, as Shahzad is in again.
That's a good shot, isn't it?
Yeah, good full delivery, dug out well, and you get a single for it.
Good work by Hose.
Oh, 6 runs from 5 deliveries. We're into the last 5 overs. So this ball will be pretty instructive as to whether this is a good over or not. Wicket important, of course. But they'll look to it. There's a chance for another wicket. He's got another. It's been very instructive because it's 2 wickets in the over. 6 runs from it. And Worcestershire keep tripping away. They keep taking wickets. And all of a sudden, that 200 margin, well, 200 score that was looking pretty promising now looks a long way off. 2 wickets in the over. And Cumran will be so pleased with that. So will his skipper. 144 for 7 the score. 4 overs left to go in this one. And it's not just about bragging rights. It's not just about the rivalry. It's not about the office-based banter when it's Bears and Rapids in the T20. Worcestershire have to play some pretty flawless cricket if they're going to qualify for the quarter-final. They started that last Sunday with a win against Northants. Repeated the dose last night against Derbyshire. And from a pretty ominous position, they're dragging themselves back into this game. Dorchester now from the Diglis end.
So Danny Briggs, the new man. And yeah, well, 95 for 3 at the halfway point. 130 for 4 in the 14th. Who'd have thunk it? 3 wickets have gone down for 15 runs. New life breathed into the Rapids. Briggs, lovely shot, but Henry Cullen, the live wire that is, in backward point, smart stop. You'd expect him to make that, but a dot, warmly applauded. I think Hayne was the wicket that D'Oliveira will most have prized in that last few minutes. The man who would just steer the ship through these last few overs. Dorchester in, slower ball, deceived Briggs, but he manages to just check his shot, wait for it and just flick it away on the leg side for a single. Clever from Dorchester. This is what's impressed me most about him in this visit, as you were talking about earlier, Jim, how he's improved as a cricketer. He was quite raw when he first came to Worcestershire 3-4 years ago, but it's the changes of pace towards the end of the innings that have been impressive. He'll go for 6 now. Bowls short, in fact an attempted uppercut by Garton and wide called by the square leg umpire. I don't like that, and I'll tell you why, because he didn't call it, and then George Garton appealed to him and he did, and I personally have my doubts about that one, and I'm not being biased. I don't think it was high enough to be called a wide. He tried to uppercut it, he could have got a bat on it, and he put pressure on the umpire. Don't like that, I'm afraid. This one he's heaved away on the leg side for a single. I think the umpires have got a tough job enough without the players trying to take over. And the match referee will have noted that. They're pretty hot on these sort of things these days. It may not have appeared to be much. Down the leg side. This is a wide, obviously, down the leg side. Not everything that goes down the leg side anymore is a wide in this competition. Most things are, depending on what the batsman does. But that one, undoubtedly a wide. So Dorchester, tidy so far. 2 for 16 in his 3rd over. 2 for 17. This time short and wide outside the off stump and not called wide. They're hurrying a bit now, I've noticed. I think the cut-off time might be a concern for Worcestershire. Cut-off time on the scoreboard is
10-7.
10-2, so they're not going to make it, I don't think.
No, 3 minutes.
They're not going to get anywhere near it, are they? I don't think. Or are they? Dorchester in, bowls. Edged and caught. They're not going to get that cut-off now, I don't think. Or are they? Because that's the last ball of the 17th. No, they're not, are they? They're not going to get anywhere near. Why is it so? Why are they struggling so much?
Well, I mean,
miles off it.
I think it's a combination of, well, we've just seen pace on, haven't we? And so often we see Fateh Singh, we've seen plenty of Tom Hindley in this competition, and Ethan Brooks as well. But we found increasingly as the competition's gone on, the bowlers that D'Oliveira can trust in this little positive spell of results have been the fast bowlers, Frank. I think possibly the weather.
Well, 149 for 8 and a few wides. I guess there've been 8 wides, so that's probably an extra over, isn't it? I put them behind. But 149 for 8 at the end of 17. 5 came from it.
But they're still a long way off, aren't they?
They're going to be way off it, and they're going to pay the penalty.
In comes Finch then from the new road end, replacing Shazad. Heaved into the leg side, that's going to go. And that's 6 all the way. If you bowl short, you get whacked. It's pretty much how the T20 works. Finch, he decided to test that theory, and he was obliged.
Yeah, I think he's got to get his Yorkers in. That's been a feature of his bowling since he came back into the side in this competition. He's got his Yorkers in pretty regularly, and that's what he's going to be trying to do now, I would imagine.
Full of this time, and it's scooped up the air, and it's going to fall between 3 fielders. They're looking for a run. It's never there. He's got to be out. He is out. And that's absolutely daft batting, you have to say. Rapids won't mind at all.
Miles run out without facing a ball.
Well, it was a good delivery, and it looked like well, it looked like he was going to be caught, didn't it? But somehow the ball dropped between 3 fielders. Absolute mess in the middle. And the upshot is, Bears are 8 down.
So they'll get a 1 for that, won't they? So it's 156 for 8. And Garton has got the strike. For 9, I should say, but now they are in danger of not using up their overs, and that, as we know, is criminal, as Richard Gleeson comes out at number 11. 156 for 9 in the 18th.
If you think where they were at the 9 over point, Frank.
Yeah.
And
well, they were
87 for 2 and going well.
Yeah. Well, 124 for 3 at one stage, were they? 107 for 3, 102, 100, yeah, 124 for 3, 130 for 4 at one stage. 130 for 4, let's leave it like that. They've lost 5 wickets for 26. Extraordinary. You just never know, do you? Brooks did well there, because he didn't carry as he came in. He had his wits about him to look up and see that the run out at the non-striker's end was on.
Finch to Garton. Garton drills that to D'Oliveira. There'll be no run there, though.
He's only interested in boundaries now, isn't he, Garton, until I would say ball number 5. 6 wicket runner dot. He wants boundaries. It's all on him now.
Well, from looking, well, odds on, weren't they? 130 for 4. They were looking odds on to be above par, and now it's going to be a battle to get there. Garton can hit a long ball. Looks to swing it away into the leg side, but it's gone just a few yards. And they will take a single.
Leg by. I think it's still a decent score. You know, if you're a Bears fan and you're watching this and you're thinking, well, we should have got 200. We just remember what we said at the start of this broadcast. 170 has been par here for a couple of years in T20. So don't get too down about it. Equally, Bears fans, don't get too excited. And they might still get 170, 175, you just never know. But
well, we saw last night, didn't we, with a couple of good shots and a couple of bits of luck. You can add 20 to a score in pretty quick time. It Finch into Gleeson. And
play and a miss.
Yeah.
Gav Srodrick's got 4 catches tonight. You don't often see a keeper get 4 catches in a T20, do you?
No, 4 dismissals, plenty with stumpings and the like, but it has been a barrage of pace bowling, isn't it?
A slip catch and 4 catches to keeper, albeit one of them is a skyer. But yeah, unusual.
Fitch in for the last ball of his spell. And it's just dropped into the leg side. They'll think about 2. They're going to be aggressive and go for it. And it's a good bit of fielding. They'll appeal. I think he's just got home. And that he has. So 2 it will be. And Finch will finish up with 4 overs. 1 for 29. And that's a pretty healthy return as well. Done well since he's come back into the side. Started the campaign well as well. So 18 overs gone, 159 for 9. We'll see Dwarshus from one end and Shahzad from the other if it goes that far, I would suspect.
What's that noise? Oh, it's music.
Frank, look, here's the thing. We have a mutual love of Steve Winwood, but this is Claxons, it's New Rave. Naughty's New Rave.
Dreadful racket.
Atlantis through into zone, that's the record if you're into that sort of thing. Won the Mercury Music Prize. And in comes Ben Dwarshus from the D-list end. Club down the ground. What a good shot that is. And that's gone all the way.
It's a great shot, you know. Slower ball. We just waited for it. Hit it on the up. Unbelievable shot from George Garton. Absolutely fantastic. I mean, it wasn't a great ball, but he's just nailed it. Tremendous. Get the Yorker in.
Good hit, wasn't it? Through the line of the ball. Played his percentages as well. And Garton's going well. In comes Dwarshus again. And that's down the leg side. It's going to be a wide. If you're not into Claxons, by the way, in a New Rave sort of way, you know, CSS might be your thing. Check them out.
Stop it now.
LCD sound system, they're pretty good.
If you're watching, listening for the first time, perhaps, or maybe you listen every time if you're a Worcestershire supporter, but you can get in touch with us. Always happy to hear from you, provided it's a positive comment. Don't want any abuse. Dwarshus bowls, chipped away on the leg side, and they will come back for 2 again. Great
taking
running.
On Brooks.
Great running. We can get in touch. Twitter or X is the best way. I'm at Frank Watson 58, and Jim is at James F Dale. That's F for Frank. James F Dale at Frank Watson 58. If you want to get in touch, always happy to hear from people. Comments about the game, really, as much as anything else.
Or bands that are kind of New Rave influenced that Frank might want to be interested in. I don't know.
Or bands I don't want to hear about. Dwarshus bowls and Garton down the leg side, clips it away. This is an expensive over. This is good batting from George Garton. Who knows whether this might be the difference between the teams, but having slumped from their strong position of 130 for 4, they've gone to 156 for 9, and he's single-handedly almost taken them up to our par score. 172 for 9 now, and he's 32 off 16. Brilliant from Garton. He doesn't get anything this time, but really good from him, and he's dented Ben Dwarshus' figures a little bit. 3 for 29 now, Dwarshus, with 2 balls left to go in his final over, and I think it's game on. I really do. If they get to 175, 180, we said at the start, if you'd have said to me at the start 180, I would have said, well, yeah, you've got a really good chance of winning with 180, and I'll stand by that. It's been fluctuating, let's say that. Garton gets a single on the leg side. 173 for 9. I mean, you'd be happy if you're Worcestershire. Well, you wouldn't, because you'd be fancying that you can get this last wicket, but you'd probably look now and say, well, if you gave me 180 now, I'd take it, because they could get more. If Garton connects with a couple in the last over.
There's also an element of realism in this, in that when it comes to chasing, how many Worcestershire will be happy chasing, and when they were staring down the barrel potentially of 200, 200 plus, you feel that that's probably a little bit beyond the Rapids, unless something, you know, fantastic happens.
Yeah.
But we are in the realms of par as it stands, and in comes Dwarshus, played into the leg side. It'll be a dot ball. And we said it could be a combination of good hitting, a bit of luck, and if you get both, then it can be a very productive end to an innings. We saw that last night with Tom Taylor and Ben Dwarshus with the bat. We're seeing it here with George Garton, 33 from 18, playing a really good hand for his side as we climb into the last over of this Bears innings. 173 for 9. Garton's going to be on strike, and that's the key bit here.
Well, 14 off that over. That's the best over was the 13th. It went for 17. No, sorry, the 9th went for... The 8th went for 19. The 13th went for 17. And there have been 2 that have gone for 14. So that's right up there with one of the best overs of the innings. And he's done it single-handedly, because he knows if he gets out, it's all over. So there's a little bit of pressure on him. But with 1 over to go, I think he'll just be looking to try and find as many boundaries as he possibly can in this last over.
In comes Shazad then. 2 wickets in his previous over. What can he give in the last over? Full ball. It is a good delivery. And
he's turned it down. There
he
you go.
has. Well, it's going to be stand and deliver stuff from Garton.
That's the extent to which he's going for this this boundaries only approach in this last over. And I don't blame him.
6 or out is the approach, yeah.
Well, he's set for 4 maybe. Shazad's going to be going full, isn't he? He's got 2 men back. He might try a ramp. He might do. He's got it in him, I think.
Another good full delivery.
Really good stuff from Shazad. A maiden here, or an over here that only goes for half a dozen is a brilliant effort, isn't it? Really good.
Well, you've got a batsman who's set long levers, looking to be aggressive. .33 from 20. Kumram Shazad, of course, really experienced. But get it just slightly wrong. Get your length wrong. It's in the slot and it goes. Test of technique and skill here. And heaved into the leg side. They'll think about 2. They'll give it a go. Good bit of fielding, but they're going to get back. Good running from George Garton. And Isaac Mohammed out there in the deep. He's been out there in the sun all evening. So 2 from the first 3 deliveries. In comes Shazad again. Shorter this time.
Oh.
Clothed into the leg side. They'll get a single. And he's already got 1 caught and bowled this evening. It had been something miraculous to get another. The upshot is it's just a single. It brings Gleeson on strike. As Frank was saying, 2 balls to go. Could be telling. Feel like this one might be close. But north of 170 is a winning score potentially on this ground. Have to bowl well, of course. Men out in the leg side. Fine leg, square leg. Deep mid wicket. In comes Shazad. Does it mean it's going to be short? No, it's a good full ball. They look to run. Rodders has run him out. Gareth Roderick has run him out. And that's going to conclude the innings. A ball early. And you'd have had pretty good odds on the Bears being bowled out at the halfway stage. But that they have. 176 all out. The second run out of the innings. And we said par was about 170, 180. Well, 176 is exactly that. So the Rapids, from where they were, they'll be pretty happy with that. They'll have to go some to get them. But you do feel at one point, Frank, that it may well have been 200. Good fight back by the Rapids. They showed real character last night to do the same. But if they're going to get over the line in this one, they're going to have to get a bit more out of their top order tonight, Frank.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, rewind to the start of this broadcast, and we said, didn't we, that 175 was about par. Had a few maybe tonight for the outfield, but I reckon it's absolutely game on. If I was a Bears fan, I would be thinking this is a really decent score. It may not be what we hope for, but it's a decent score.
out again from Roderick. You think the gap between Lewis Gregory first slip and Josh Davey is at a backward point, and right between them. That's raced away twice and played that shot.
Some things are built over time, not just in moments, but in choices. It's how we live, day in and day out, and the way we show up for each other. Trust in those who dedicate themselves to others. Inclusiveness in those who bring people together to make a difference. Kindness in those who lift others up, even without words. Resilience in those who turn challenges into something greater. We're more than a club, because the greatest teams aren't just on the field. They're in the heart of a county, in the people who give, inspire, and lead. One team, standing side by side, together, looking ahead.
fucking minutes you were out there being like health and safety gone wrong. Not in the suit. They said, right, we'll do 15-20 minute max. Because so we went out with the 16th over strand after they forgot. Wicket on the last ball of the 15th. Wicket on the last ball of the 17th or whatever it was. Or the 16th. So they kept missing it. In the end, so all of us were there, like Jared going like, we need to go, it's so hot. And then they finally did it. I was fucking running back round at the end. No worries. I'll see you in a bit.
Rapid to require 177 to win.
Good start by George Garton. Dot ball first up to Worcestershire's left-handed opener Isaac Mohammed, 17-year-old, playing against his former club, having just moved to Worcestershire from Warwickshire just a few weeks ago. Played at Edgbaston earlier on in this competition. 177 then the Worcestershire target after the Bears innings finished one ball before it should have done. Garton bowls and big drive from Isaac this time. Makes no contact. So, top score, Sam Hain 44, Dan Mousley made 31, Ed Barnard 23, George Garton 36, not out, but the Bears will be disappointed with that 176, having been at one stage threatening something in the way of 200, but as we've kept saying from the start, those of us who've seen a fair bit of T20 here, 176 is about par. As Isaac is beaten again outside the off stump. So excellent start by Garton. 3 dots on the trot from him. Oliver just goes for a little walk.
Pete's been on,
has a little word with his young partner. Pete's been on, yeah.
Pete's been on. He said odd innings from the Bears. They got both more and less than they should have done.
Yes.
Which is quite a fair assessment.
Yeah, good observation. In comes Garton again. And Isaac gets lucky, I'm afraid, gets a boundary, but could well have been the end of his innings. A diving attempt by
Dan Mousley
at cover, threw himself away to his left, didn't quite manage to get a hand on it. Well, Ed Barnard commiserates, but 4 runs it is.
Former Warwickshire player, Isaac Mohammed, and you'll find out that he has shot a ball in his young career in this format. always looking to be aggressive. Very impressive 32 on his debut. Took a liking to Matthew Potts. Been a little bit streaky since then, though, hasn't he, Frank?
Yeah, he has. I don't think he's quite found his way yet. I think his early days, he's a young lad, got a good start, but hasn't quite found any kind of rhythm. That's a great shot, isn't it? I mean, you know, there's an indication of his talent. Last ball of the over, he's played and missed 3 times. He's had a streaky 4, and he clips it 1 bounce for 4 over mid-wicket. A really good shot. Off middle, but he's very confident. He appears not to be fazed by the big occasion, but I think the truth is, huge talent. Got to turn cameos into scores. That's probably a fair way of summarising it. But he is 17, so we'll give him a bit of a break. 8 off the first over.
Well, we're going to see Richard Gleeson from the Diglis end. Former Lancashire paceman. Got his break at Northants. 37 years old now. Rather like George Garton.
Very good in
played
this format.
Plenty of franchise cricket. D'Oliveira facing up. It's quick, it's skewed off the edge. It's a thick edge. They're looking for 2. And in the end, decide better of it. Good bit of fielding out there. But, that was quick enough for the 37-year-old from Blackpool.
He reminds me so much of Ben Sanderson, and not just because he played for Northants, but he's a specialist in this format, isn't he? He's a similar pace, big, strongly built, dark-haired, experienced, key man. Just sensing that freneticism again in this first part of the innings.
Gleeson, left armour to left armour, deep in his crease. Ishaq Mohammed, again it's a play and miss. But it's something you talked about when we first got a glimpse of him, that he will do that. He is looking to play at absolutely everything, but he doesn't get phased, does he? It's every ball on its merit. He misses 3 or 4 in a row, as we saw 3 in the first over, and then just elegantly clips the ball over wide mid-on as if it were nothing. Again, deep in his crease.
You see,
pad,
my thinking here about this run chase is that 177 is a decent score. It's not huge. You don't have to score 60 in the power play. If you do, great, but you don't have to. So you don't have to go chasing it. A power play of 40 for none would be absolutely fine. But that doesn't seem to be the modern thinking.
Mohammed and the charge there. Again, it's another play and miss. So it's dot balls again.
Get a bat on it.
Sometimes coaching can be reduced to the finest and most sensible points. But that's play and miss number 6 for Ishaq Mohammed. Of course, when you've got Gleeson bowling at 88 miles an hour, moving the ball about, easier said than done. It's flashed away. Just a single. 2 singles from this over, 1 ball left to come. Really good from Richard Gleeson. I think if the Rapids are looking to take this deep, got to be calculated in their approach, calculated when to be aggressive. But we saw them 10 for 4 in the first 3 overs last night. They won't want to repeat of the same. D'Oliveira fronting up this time. It's a solid defensive push down the wicket. So another dot ball it'll be, just 2 from that over. Really good stuff from Gleeson. As you say, Frank, highly experienced, highly skilled in this format.
Yeah.
Been there and done it.
2 from the over when, you know, there were 3 attempts at big shots, and that's where I think the thinking is a little bit inappropriate at the moment at the start of these Worcestershire innings.
So you're looking for a single, a few twos, and then all of a sudden...
I'd rather have seen 5 off that over, just trying to get a bat on it, you know. Garton will continue from the New Road end. Isaac 9 off 10 so far. And another swing and a miss. And I also think, you know, he will stand a better chance of playing these big shots if he just gives himself a few deliveries to get used to the pace of the pitch, etc.
Well, we're not seeing a lot of footwork with him, are we? When he's planted to the crease, got static feet. Got to get the feet moving a bit. And that's play and miss number 8. We're only halfway through the third over, Frank. But look, he's a super talented young man, and the Rapids are absolutely delighted to have him. I think they weren't really anticipating him playing so quickly. He's only 2 months into his first professional contract with the club. Made the journey down the M5 from Warwickshire, of course. But again, it's another dot ball. And while Isaac Mohammed continues to try and find his way in this one, 9 from 13 deliveries. Still early, but run rate just lifting up towards 9.5. It's not something to worry about just yet. It's all just a little bit of history repeating, Frank.
Yeah, it's not sensible cricket, I don't think, at the moment.
You feel the
4 play and misses. I just think you need to just keep the scoreboard ticking over, get a bat on it, score 4, 5 and over for the first 3 or 4, then you can go big.
You think
but
just
they've scored 2 of the last 10 deliveries.
Just
that can hurt you.
Take a single and get your skipper back on strike down the other end, who's been there and done it all. And have a look at it from the other end, perhaps. But I think we'll see a similar approach, regardless, from this young man.
I'm not expecting to see another maiden, but I've seen a maiden in the last 2 games, or 2 of the last 3 games that Worcestershire have played, and you don't see many maidens in T20 cricket.
Well,
let alone wicket maidens, let alone double wicket maidens, which is what we saw last night. But we're 1 ball away from a maiden again here.
D'Oliveira went down to have a long chat with Isaac Mohammed then. That's cut away. Cut away hard. Should go for a good bit of fielding. Great bit of fielding. That's
Brilliant
Craig
fielding.
Miles sliding and rolling on the turf. Still managed to keep hold of the ball. Great body control to stay within the confines of the playing field. Superb work. So we don't get that maiden in the end, Frank. But again, a highly productive over from a Bears perspective. And we're going to now see Hassan Ali. So the experienced, highly skilled white ball seam bowlers are coming thick and fast at this Rapid side. I think Bears probably saw what was effective when they had bat in hand, and it was the seamers that were doing the work.
So Hassan Ali from the Diglis end to D'Oliveira, 12 without loss. And he's right on the mark with his first delivery. D'Oliveira just pushes out on the offside. Only the 3rd ball that D'Oliveira has faced. If you're just joining us, 177 the target. 176 for the Bears in 19 0.5 overs. And the Rapids off to a less than rapid start. Hassan Ali in, D'Oliveira beaten by a clever bit of bowling, really clever change of pace, and D'Oliveira threw the shot way too soon. It was short, but it was really, took a lot of pace off that. He's a master of his craft in this format, Hassan Ali, and it's change of pace that is particularly cleverly disguised. In again, bowls. D'Oliveira drives and he's caught at short extra cover, and we get the massive celebration from Hassan Ali. It was an excellent catch by Ed Barnard. D'Oliveira hit it well, hammered on the up, and Barnard at short extra. A great fielder, as we know very well here at Worcestershire, holding on to that, tumbling back, and D'Oliveira has gone for one. And the Rapids are in a bit of trouble, I'm afraid, at 12 for 1 in the fourth over.
Well, it's a good bit of captaincy as well. The man on the drive. And the offside, D'Oliveira again. Difficult time with the bat for him, just one. But the key here, dot balls. So with that wicket, Garton 9 dot balls from his 2 over. Gleeson 4 dot balls in his first over. Hassan Ali yet to go for a run. 16 dot balls and we're only halfway through the fourth over. That tells its own story. Worcestershire unable to put this potent bowling attack under any pressure as Hassan Ali comes steaming in again to Roderick.
And Roderick, as Roderick does, restores a little bit of calm. Pushes that out on the onside for a single. And now Isaac, 11 off 16, is on strike again. And it'll be interesting to see whether he maintains his approach or whether he decides to be a little bit more circumspect. I'm not saying he can't play any shots. I think he needs to rein himself in a little bit. The trouble is, the longer it goes on, the more under pressure you put yourself, don't you? Here's Hassan Ali into ball 2. I mean, he's taking on the pad as he tries to turn it on the leg side. Do you know what I mean? The longer it goes on, the more dots. It's like that maiden that Gareth Roderick faced at Headingley. Tried 3 big ones, didn't get anything on it. Tried a ramp, didn't get anything on it.
And then you've got to try a big one.
And then you think, well, I've got to now, because if I don't hit these last 2 to the boundary, then it's a disastrous over, and it just becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, doesn't it?
Yeah, sometimes you've just got to take what's there.
Hassan Ali in, Roderick on the back foot, beaten by a good one outside the off stump. Good bowling from Hassan Ali, brilliant over from Hassan Ali. 2 runs have come off it, 2 off the last 3 overs, which is dreadful, really, in the power play. And Worcestershire find new ways to have bad power plays. Yes, last night they had a terrible power play by losing 4 wickets. And they were 10 for 4 off 3 overs. Tonight they've had a bad power play by scoring only 2 runs off 3 consecutive overs, and they're 14 for 1 after 4. Warwickshire's power play wasn't great, but they were 27 for 2 off 4. Richard Gleeson now coming on at the New Road end.
I think
the Rapids are in a mess, I'm afraid, after 4 overs.
Gleeson on his way in to young Isak Mohammed. Just dropped on the back foot. It's going to be another dot ball. It's a good bit of captaincy. Bring Gleeson back in from the other end with Isak Mohammed on strike, who struggled to deal with him when he's bowling from the Diglis end. You can just feel this capacity crowd. We've had a good night so far. Start to get a little bit edgy. Lots riding on this game, of course. Worcestershire need to get their reply started. It's a single. Looking to use his feet. Just looking to knock Gleeson off his length. Such a canny bowler. Good Yorker, of course, can bowl at pace. Got the changes of pace as well. They're so important. Wide Yorkers Every trick in the book. Roderick on strike, and playing a miss right on that line of what's acceptable, but Roderick's batting outside leg stump at the moment, which means Gleeson is smart enough to use every bit of wiggle room he's got, and Roderick was reaching for it but couldn't get a bat on it, so it's another dot ball.
Good bowling again. Outstanding. They will have got together in the huddle and talked about hitting the right areas and about maintaining their discipline when batsmen try and put them under the pressure in the power play, and they've done exactly that. Outstanding bowling from all three bowlers used so far. Gotten 2 overs for 10. Hassan Ali just conceding 1 run, and Gleeson so far has conceded just 3 runs off the 10 deliveries that he's bowled.
Roderick looking for a little scoop there, but again failing to connect. A shot that was quite profitable for him last night, but those dots keep coming, Frank.
Yeah, it's well, I said they were in a mess at the end of the last over. It's going to be even bigger a mess at the end of this over.
Well, Garton's
What's the lowest power play you've ever seen?
Do you know what, we're going to be close to it. I think the lowest I've seen is 24. There must be one lower than that. Roderick deep in his crease, drilled straight to mid-off. It's going to be another dot ball. And it's Garton that's been expensive tonight, Frank. He's going at 5s. Hassan Ali and Gleeson under 2 and over.
Yeah,
and it feels a little bit like a death from 1,000 cuts right now, as the Rapids, they're 5 overs into their reply, but they haven't gotten started. 15 for 1 the score. You have to say it's good bowling, but Worcestershire are going to have to find a way here. Hassan Ali back in. Isak Mohammed on strike, down the ground.
That's big.
And he's launched that, goodness me. It's got enough on it, it's in the stands.
It's a magnificent shot.
Well, people tell me I've got a loud voice. I'm not quite sure he heard me from the middle, but they have finally got started. And it's a sumptuous straight drive for 6. And that's the talent on show. Used his feet, turned a good length ball into a slot delivery, and he absolutely crunched it. Tom Latham having a word with Hassan Ali. Pakistani fast bowler steaming in. And that's been crunched as well. Have a little bit more of the same. 2 6s in 2 balls.
And Alex Davis is concerned. I mean, Worcestershire desperately need a big over. Isak Mohammed now 24 off 21 with 12 having come off 2. Suddenly has put a bit of pressure back on the bowler, and he will feel a little bit better after struggling in those early overs.
Now here comes the test though, Frank, that little bit of, I hate the phrase game management,
well, it's,
but being intelligent with it.
I think he's hit 12 off the over. It doesn't turn a disappointing power play into a good one, but it takes a little bit of pressure off. And it's good to see him play that ball out for a single, albeit one would have seen Gareth Roderick run out.
Well, he tried.
The throw from Hassan Ali, who fielded off his own bowling. They'd gone for the single, he tumbled over, he threw, and had he hit, then Gareth Roderick was out. And I'm saying that with some authority since we're sitting absolutely square of the wicket. But they got in. But it was
never
good,
a run there, was there?
Good to see Isak Mohammed, having hit 2 6s, just control the adrenaline and stay calm and play that one on its merits. And Hassan Ali's been there before, of course. He's not going to feel the pressure quite as much as he would if he was a raw youth. Balls to Roderick, who can't do anything with this, just pushes out on the offside, and that's really good bowling as well, isn't it, from Hassan Ali, because he's been hit for 2 sixes and he's responded with 2 very good deliveries, and you know, it's a disappointing over, but well, we're in the last over of the power play and there's just 28 on the board. The good news is they're just 1 down.
Roderick heaves that into leg side. Is there enough on that? There's a fielder out there.
Oh my goodness. Amazing bit of fielding. Amazing. Danny Briggs out there. He's caught it. He's going over the rope. He knows he can't hold on to it because he'll sit down. It'll be 6. So he throws it back in. He can't get back in to recover and make the catch. And it was right on the rope. I mean, if this was a proper television broadcast, they'd be checking that because it was very, very close. But it's just a single.
I was going to say, it's a lot of action for a single, isn't it?
It certainly is. Great bit of fielding. They practice these things all the time. And that's why. Last ball of the over. And Isaac has got himself out, gone for the scoop, gone for the little ramp shot. Last ball of the power play. Already hit 2 sixes in the over. Probably didn't need to do that. I really, really wish we could see him get past a power play and see the field spread. It's a brave effort from the young man. He's out for 25 of 23 deliveries. But did he need to do that? 29 for 2 at the end of the power play.
Well, it's a sucker punch. It's a real blow. Looking to be positive, the young man. It's the way he plays. He looks frustrated, disappointed as he makes his way up the steps in the Graham Hick Pavilion. It brings Adam Hose, talisman in this batting lineup, really, in the absence of Kashif Ali. And we just had that little impetus, that injection of energy. And all of a sudden, new batsman at the crease, looking to start again. Roderick, who's trying to get himself started in this. 2 runs, he's been there for 8 deliveries. And he just drops that into the leg side. It's Craig Miles who's come into the attack. And it's decided it's easier to bat from the other end, which is fair enough. 30 for 2 the score. Run rate now north of 10. 10.6 and over. That in itself in the modern game isn't a problem. The problem is pairs are going at less than 5 apiece. We know that acceleration isn't necessarily Gareth Roderick's game, but you feel he's going to try and anchor a response here to this miserly start from the Bears seamers. In comes Craig Miles then. Adam Hose on strike for the first time. And they're looking for a quick single. Really well judged. Both batters home with relative ease. A good early call from the former Bear. But it does feel, Frank, rather like previous victories. But this is going to have to be done by committee. Here comes Miles again. It's driven down the ground. Not got all of it, but it skips off that hard surface. Is it going to go for 4? That's a brilliant piece of fielding. That is an absolutely stunning piece of fielding. Clattered into the advertising hoardings for his trouble. But it's another great piece of outfielding by this Bears unit. The difference is it'll be 2 rather than 4. crunching drive along the deck. That'll go for 4. No stopping that. Lovely shot from Gareth Roderick. Just slightly over-pitched. A dismissive straight drive from Roderick, who's fresh off the back of a man-of-the-match performance and a 50 in a game where it looked like Worcestershire were in all kinds of trouble. But he and Ethan Brooks dragged his team back into it. Miles in again, just clipped into the leg side. They'll take a single. That's 9 off the first 5 balls, Frank, and I think that's the sort of cricket you were after.
22 dots in the power play. There you are. That's not the sort of cricket that I was after, and I think you're right. Yeah. We said, didn't we, about the Warwickshire power play, about Alex Davis playing sensible cricket shots and so on, and still keeping the score going. It's not what we've seen this time round.
They'll take a final single off the over. So 10 from the over.
I mean, for me, the good news from the Rapids' point of view is that they're only 2 wickets down. I think that's a key factor, and they've still got plenty of batting to come. But 22 dots in the power play is nonsense. It's nonsense, isn't it? Really.
Well, I was going to try and find a diplomatic word for it, but you're absolutely right. It is nonsense. It's very. It puts pressure on the batters that are out there. It puts pressure on the lower order when all of a sudden a manageable total becomes a really challenging one, and it's trying to get that momentum, isn't it? George Garton's coming back into the attack. Adam Hose will face up. And another dot ball.
Stephen Mann says same old problem for the pairs, struggling to pace the innings. Yeah, I'd agree with that, I think. And he also says, where's Moeen for the Bears? I don't know. I don't know. Shot from Hose, but straight to Barnard. He's really close in there where he caught that catch of D'Oliveira. He's threatening, isn't he? He's a presence. He's in the batsman's eye line. He's probably 2 or 3 yards closer than most are when they're in the ring. Such a good fielder. Man at short mid-wicket as well. Short third, mid-off. Those are the men in the ring. Slower ball from Garton, and Hose waited for it, saw it, hit it hard, but straight to Tom Latham at mid-off. Latham's a good presence out there. I've seen him, watching him closely, just moving the fielders around a little bit, little wave here, just pushing people around. Alex Davis is lieutenant really up there at mid-off. Keeper, captain Davis. Hose swings at this one, leg by will be taken. Good over so far from Garton, just the 1 run off 4 balls. Dots, 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 hurting the Rapids at the moment. But 40 on the board in the 8th, and only 2 down. They're going to need 11 and over, I reckon, off the second half of the innings. Bears were 95 for 3. Their innings fell away. Rapids innings will need to do the opposite if they're going to get close to this 177 target.
Well,
that's a pretty good shot from Roderick. Stand and deliver on the back foot. Played a few of those last night. On his toes, straight bat shot, but back over the bowler's head. Very good from Roderick. Very much needed. It was round the wicket. Well, it wasn't really a straight bat shot, but it wasn't a pull shot. It was a heave, but it was well timed. He knew exactly what he was doing, and it did go straight down the ground. 44 for 2. Last ball of the 8th. And it might be 4 more. He's got that away very fine, and it is brilliantly fielded again by The big man down there, Gleeson, he may be 37 years old, but goodness me, he still gets around pretty quickly. So they got 2 off the last one, so 7 off the over, which was good because they came off the last 3 deliveries. Garton is going very nicely. 8 gone, 46 for 2, and just I'll turn up the effects mode so you can listen to this lovely tuned 4-piece of music, which Jim is about to identify.
Again, it's still the Claxons, Atlantis to Interzone. You have to listen to the whole album as a piece of art, Frank. That's the key.
No, I couldn't do that. That would be my idea of purgatory, probably. Goodness me. I've tried very hard having children to stay in touch with modern music, but that's just a step too far, I'm afraid.
Miles in again, looking for the scoop. Missed time by Hose. Well, can it be modern music that's 20 years old?
Well,
nearly.
Yeah.
Well,
there you are. Well, maybe modern music's better.
Do you know what? Sadly, it isn't. It's really.
Now you sound like me.
It's really boring. It's really bland. Rather than it being like, it's just sort of.
I mean, I lived through punk and new wave and so on. So I've kind of been able to welcome change, but I just don't like the sound of it. That's all. Don't like the sound of 46 for 2 either in the 9th over, when you need 177 to win. Earlier today, if you're just joining us, Bears 176 all out in 19.5. Threatened to be a lot more at one stage. Pairs, Rapids came back really well. Top scorer was Sam Hain, as he always is, against Worcestershire with 44. Garton 36 not out. Mousley made 31. But Worcestershire have struggled in response.
Heaved away. That's going to. It's again a really good piece of fielding. It's going to challenge the fielder. But it's Rob Yates who's on as a substitute fielder. Really good stop. Went like a tracer bullet off Hose's bat.
Who's he on for? Hain, I think. I haven't seen Hain out there. Good fielder, Rob Yates. Great slip fielder. Don't think he'll be in there tonight.
Miles in again. Again looking for a big heave. There's no connection. So 3 more dot balls in this over so far. Well, I think really this one's called the blast in name only, isn't it? Worcestershire seeing that run rate up to 11.5. Roderick just bunts this one into the offside. They'll pick up a couple. But while they have wickets in hand, what we've seen, Tom Taylor and Ben Dwarshus particularly, Ethan Brooks as well. And we'll get our first glimpse potentially of Cullen with the bat in a game that, well, I suppose an innings that will really mean something.
Big ask, isn't it?
Well, yeah, they've got wickets in hand.
No, I mean Cullen, big ask of a young man.
Well, yes, absolutely.
In only his second game.
But that's the way you find out if you're tall enough. In comes Miles again. And that's just guided over the keeper. Keeper wasn't tall enough to stop that. Has gone for 4.
Well, they needed that boundary. 7 off the over.
Yeah. Means they're up to 53 for 2. Same point. They're 34 runs behind where the Bears were. Similar time. Feel with the rate as it is, look, it isn't impossible. Modern cricket being as it is. A couple of good overs, put the bowlers under pressure. So we're going to see some spin for the first time in this innings. Danny Briggs is going to come on. It's a
nice
shadow
time.
start to
nice time for Briggs, and he's such a canny operator, isn't he, in this format? Nice for the captain to be able to turn to such an experienced bowler. And first ball produces an appeal, hit the pad, lobbed out on the offside, diving catch at backward point. And they thought, it is Sam Hain, so it's not Robbie Yates fielding for Sam Hain. He dived forward and caught it, but there was no nick. Briggs bowls, driven on the offside by Hose. And
Garton has stepped over the
made
rope.
a mess of it. He's picked it up and stepped over the rope just away to our right as we look out from our commentary pod. So it is a boundary that wasn't expected. He just wasn't aware of where the rope was. He picked it up. If he'd known where the rope was, he would have just knocked it down in front of him, but he couldn't. Good response from Danny Briggs. Very quick delivery through Adam Hose, who moved to 7 with that boundary. Well, 57 for 2.
Fielding's been excellent tonight, actually.
Yeah.
Both sides have been very good. So that was odd, wasn't it? Oddly out of character. Bit of a gimme.
Briggs bowls again. Hose drives in the air. This time it's raced to the boundary. Cleared Latham at short extra and flew away. You sense, as Adam Hose goes to 11 and the score to 61 for 2, you sense, Jim, that if Worcestershire are to manage this required rate, which is over 11 in the second half of the innings, then the former Bear, Hose, will be key. And he gets another run here as he sweeps Briggs down to deep backward square.
You feel part of this in terms of a chase is they're going to have to target a couple of overs to try and go big as well. Try and get themselves back in range, and it might well be Briggs that will be one of those bowlers. Canny operator as he is. Roderick on strike now. Now he's placed into plenty of real estate on the leg side. They'll think about 2. And
good running.
In the end, put enough pressure on the fielder. It wasn't a good pickup, it wasn't a good throw either. So they'll take 2. 11 from the over.
The running of 2s is something that has been quite a feature in T20 cricket this season, I think. I witnessed that game at Headingley last Friday where Will Luxton and James Wharton ran Worcestershire ragged. They ran so many 2s where they just pushed it to the edge of the circle like that one, and Headingley being the big field it is, the fielders in the deep had a long way to come in, and they 2 young men with long strides, they ran beautifully, and it was the difference, or in many ways a big difference between the 2 sides.
Yeah, well, it's home field advantages, isn't it? Also, the outfielding from a Worcestershire perspective wasn't great either. A couple of catches going down, but yeah, knowing the dimensions of the ground, the pace of the outfield, Lancashire were good at that as well.
They were indeed. They were indeed.
Dan Mousley comes into the attack, and it's heaved into leg side. Has he got enough on it? You bet he has. That's going to go over our heads, and it's on the roof. Goodness me. Well, we thought they might go after Briggs. They're going to go after Dan Mousley. He's bowled well here before, but Adam Hose has said time to go, and he's absolutely smoked that.
Yeah, that's the biggest of the night, I think, isn't it? You might even have heard it land on the roof of our commentary pod. Big hit from Hose. Mousley round the wicket though. He'll fire the next one in, I'm pretty sure of that, and he does. He won't be too phased by that as he's pushed away for a single. I mean, he did bowl one extraordinary final set in the 100 last year, didn't he? Where I think he produced 6 dots or 4 dots or 6 out of 10 dots or something remarkable. He can do it even against the best.
And this one's going to go as well. Has he got enough on it? Fielder went in and then out, and it's going to go for 4. 1 bounce, 2 boundaries in the first half of this over.
Well, you said they needed a big over, Jim.
Yeah.
And they've got 11 off the first 3 here. Could be a big over.
I think it's time to go, Frank. I think it might be fire sale time if they're going to get this run rate under control. But just misjudged by Gleeson down there. Roderick looking for a little paddle. Bit of a miscue, but they'll take a single. Don't mind that. They reverted to a shot that he knows well and that he's developed well. You look at the mass here, still over 100 to win. 56 balls to go. A couple of boundaries early helps, though. It puts pressure on Mousley to get his line and length right. Good ball fired in. Cut away for just a single. It's about asking questions of this bowling attack. You feel young Isaac Mohammed, he had a difficult time, didn't he, really? Chewed up balls. Firm sweep by Roderick, but Garton's out there, so it'll just be a single. He's got a good arm as well, former Sussex player. But another productive over from a Worcestershire perspective. Crime rate is 11, bob on. Batters take a few refreshments. It's pretty warm in here as well, but don't feel sorry for us. We're at Visit Worcestershire New Road in the beautiful sunshine, and we're glad to have you for company. This one sold out weeks ago. Every possible ticket going disappeared. We've seen all kinds of mascots. I saw someone with a penny farthing and a pirate hat, Frank, and I thought I was hallucinating in these. Turns out, no. I've no idea why, but I'm glad that he was there. But great to see a packed house, having a great time.
Well, they'll be having a better time if he drops this, which he hasn't. And that is the end of Gareth Roderick. So the good partnership, which has added 49 for this third wicket, comes to an end with the score on 78. And Gareth Roderick, who came in at 3 and struggled a little bit to get going, is out for 30 of 21 deliveries. That's a pretty good effort from him, but he's caught by Hassan Ali off Danny Briggs, and well, it's, as I keep saying, I've said it so many times, the best way to disrupt a recovery is to pick up a wicket, and that is exactly what they've done.
Well, warm applause for Gareth Roderick. He did take a little while to get going, but he was the first player to really provide a bit of impetus, a couple of boundaries. Then we saw Isaac Mohammed hit a couple of big sixes, and suddenly this batting response came to life. But a good partnership, as you say, Frank. 49. It means that Hose is set at the other end, which is helpful.
Yeah.
How long will it take for Brooks to play a sweep or a reverse? First ball or second?
Well, yeah. First. No, wrong. Tickled away on the leg side, though. Sensible. Played really well last night at Derby. Ethan Brooks, very, very well indeed. 43 off 26. He's going to have to do something similar tonight. It's tough. Anything over 11 is tough, isn't it? It's all right for 4 or 5 overs, but very hard to sustain it, really. You need a really big over at some point, don't you? Leg by taken there.
Yeah, you need an 18-20.
You need an 18-20, if not a couple. Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. We had 4 consecutive overs that produced 7 runs in the power play.
Second ball, there we go. And
so, yeah, he's so predictable.
Well, he's a prodigious sweeper, Ethan Brooks. Of course,
both
Rapids
sides.
fan you'll know.
Yeah.
And if you're a Bears fan, of course, he's a...
You'll probably know.
He made his name, of course, as a young man, just up the road.
But yeah, I think, you know, somebody's going to have to play exceptionally well. You look back through, I mean, I did say what's the lowest power play. I couldn't find it, by the way. I had a quick look, but overs of 2, 2, 2 and 1 in a power play are going to leave you struggling. Oh my goodness, well, he's gone for the sweep and he's gone for it. Third ball as well, and he's missed it, and it was a arrow of a ball from Danny Briggs, and Ethan Brooks has been adjudged LBW. Didn't look happy with the decision. Just having a look at the replay, Alex Davies really liked it. Brooks can't believe it. Looks back in total dismay. And Worcestershire are 82 for 4.
Well, he was hit right in front, which Danny Briggs was bowling left arm round, wasn't he? He was quite a wide position on the pop-in crease. If it was hitting leg. I don't think it was quite as bad a decision as Ethan Brooks is implying. But 2 wickets in pretty quick succession. I mean, a tough task.
That was a good over.
Is becoming a huge challenge for this Rapid side.
2 wickets in the over and just 4 runs conceded. Excellent from Briggs.
Well, we're not seeing Cullen, we're seeing Ben Dwarshus make his way out to the wicket, and I think we know what the plan is here. Ben, can you get us in range, mate? Long levers, give it a whack.
Yeah.
And I imagine he'll be more than up for the fight.
Well, after your pep talk, I'm sure he's straining, champing at the bit.
He just wanted a haircut. He didn't want me bothering him, but I couldn't help it.
I met this bloke in the barbers.
I'll tell you what, this guy I met, he was so astute. I loved him.
God, he knew his stuff.
In comes Gleeson to Hose. Hose cuts away. There's a man out in the deep, though.
And then he walked out, and this bloke called Jim Dale came in.
Oh, you brute, Frank.
Single off the first one, 83 for 4. Dwarshus on strike. He can go big. Pretty brutal last night from Dwarshus. 31 not out very quickly. Hit some big ones, but this is a tall order, isn't it? 12 and over.
Well, as
sounds like wisdom after the event, Jim, but they you look back at the power play, you can't look much further than that, can you really, for where this has gone wrong?
No, I mean, we've seen all throughout this campaign, actually, that they just haven't quite got it together. I mean, probably first up they were okay, but they've still been competitive in games, still won plenty of games, despite the power plays. And we'll see Dwarshus for the first time. It's full ball. It's going to be a wide, though, down the leg side. Left armour to left-handed batter. And you fancy that Dwarshus will fancy leg side boundary. But if Worcestershire are going to get anywhere near this total, then Gleeson and Garton's figures are going to have to take a bit of a peppering in their second spell. What can Dwarshus provide? And that's gone straight through him. It's quick from Gleeson. Means another dot ball. And for a little bit of context, not that we're going to see any rain, but the DLS says 107, and that's how far behind the game Worcestershire are. As you say, Frank, 11, 12 and over does not intimidate cricketers, so long as it's a 4-5 over spell. But they've had to do it pretty much from over number 8.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's a long old fight when you've got quality bowlers up against you. Dwarshus, has he got enough of that? He's absolutely crunched it. Well, he's been brought up the order to send a few over the boundary ropes. Another handful of those. Worcestershire will feel better about life. It's in the slot, to be fair.
I've just watched the replay of the Ethan Brooks LBW, and it hit him. I think what he might have thought was he was outside the line of off stump, and it was delivered and it was coming right across. If he was in line, it's probably going on to hit. If he was outside, it's umpire's call, I reckon.
Little dab this time.
So
he'll have a single.
It's either a brilliant decision or he's a little bit unlucky, because it was on off stump, angled, obviously delivered from wide, as you said, and even at that angle, if it hit him just on the line of off stump, it's going on to hit middle and leg, then it's a fantastic decision. But was he just outside the line? I reckon that's what he thought.
I think you're probably right. If that gets reviewed, it's probably umpire's call, which means it's not a bad decision.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
It's a frustrating one. You'd be disappointed either way if it's given or not, depending on your side. Hose on strike this time. He's looking to leather that, cut it away into the offside. Will the sweeper get round to it? Diving stop.
Brilliant.
He will. Another fantastic bit of fielding. Is that Jacob Bethel out there?
Yeah.
It sure is. Goodness me. And you have to say that already this Bears fielding unit, I reckon they've done their bowlers a favour to the tune of about 10 or 12 runs here, Frank.
Oh, easily. Mind you, I mean, some of the Worcester fielding was very good as well, but that was, I mean, when you see a big guy like Sanderson doing what he's been doing, then I think that tells you everything, doesn't it? Fantastic. Fantastic work from Bethel.
Right. 2 for Hose. Driven down the ground.
That's a great shot.
Lovely shot. 4 more.
Well,
got a 6 in the over and a 4 on the over.
It's these two, isn't it, Jim? 15 off the over. It's these two, I would say, if Worcestershire are going to have a chance. I'm not saying the others can't chip in, but one of these two, if not both, have got to do something pretty special here.
Well,
it's not impossible.
Importantly, the run rate still, it's just under 11.5. It's still a tough ask, but they're still in the game. 7 overs to go. And this is going to be an interesting battle, this.
Yeah.
Danny Briggs, really canny operator. Ben Dwarshus, who will, well, just look to give it a whack, I think, Frank.
Yeah.
Any which way.
He will. Briggs often comes out on top in these sort of contests. Not on that one, though. That is massive. Absolutely massive. Unbelievable shot from Ben Dwarshus, and the 100 is up. While there's life, there's hope. Rapids fans just awaken from their misery. Well bowled.
It's a wide.
Except it's wide. Still
Nice.
well bowled in a way, because change of pace was enough to.
I think he was expecting
prevent
Dwarshus
him.
to walk, and I think he was looking for a stumping, and Dwarshus just held his ground. And that's going to be out.
Oh, that's it. Well bowled. He's done him, hasn't he? That's clever bowling.
Well, he was there for a good time, not a long time. A couple of lusty blows. But as you say, Frank, Danny Briggs just has a way of getting the better of batsmen. Clever operator.
Yeah, clever, really clever bowling. And Ben Dwarshus perishes, living by the sword and dying by it. For 13 off just 4 balls, he hit 2 sixes. But Richard Gleeson taking a very comfortable catch at short third, and it's a canny, clever, and ultimately too good, the bowling from Briggs for Dwarshus. New batsman is Henry Cullen. No pressure for the young man, and only his second game. 11 and over required. And he's off the mark, off his first ball, just clipping it nicely up to long on for a single.
So hose well set. Been good in the competition this year.
He's under massive pressure now, isn't he? He really is. Pushes out on the offside, goes for a single, has to hurry. Gets in, owing to a rather loose throw from Barnard. Unusual for him. Threw it while he was falling to the floor, to be fair. Runs here, very fine. It's gone as Cullen tried to play it away on the leg side, sliding down towards fine leg. He must have got no, he didn't get anything on it, leg buys, but 2 of them. Good chase again. Gleeson, gosh, he's been busy, the big man in the field. He really has. Maybe 37, as I said earlier. He's running around out there as if he was half that age. And Cullen is forward to this one, pushing out on the offside for a single. Good over from Danny Briggs, really good over. Not only did he pick up the wicket of Dwarshus, not only did he recover from being hit for 6 first ball of the over, but he then kept a lid on it, and in the end, although 12 came off the over, he picked up the wicket, and it's 109 for 5 after 14. By comparison, the Bears were 130 for 5, so Worcestershire a long way behind that.
Well, yet again, that run rate 11.3. We've seen for the most part of this chase. See, Cullen took a cracking catch at slip at the start of proceedings. Busy in the field, saw as much of the ball as Gleeson has actually. can he do with the bat for his side? As Miles comes in. It's a play and a miss, and we've seen plenty of that this evening. It just goes to show as well, back to Pete's point of they got less than they should, but more than they should, the Bears. And at 1-5-6 for 9, that 20-run partnership right at the end of the innings. Garton flailing it to all parts. Really impactful. Edged and gone. Regulation nick. And Cullen's stay is a short one. 2 runs for him. Miles is in the wickets. Bears are on top rather. Rapids are in real trouble. As Tom Taylor strides out to the crease. 109 for 6 the score. And rather like we saw in the first innings, Frank, Bears were batting in those middle overs is where the wickets have fallen.
Yeah, I mean, Tom Taylor coming to the crease, and you got after that Fateh Singh can bat a bit, but no Matthew Waite in the side tonight. The difference is that the Bears had George Garton coming in down the order, and he was able to take the fight to the Rapids with that 36 off 22 balls, and even when there were 9 down, he was still hitting boundaries. Worcestershire haven't really got that power down the order. There's immense pressure on Adam Hose. He cannot get out. If he does, it's almost inevitable that the innings will fall away. But after Tom Taylor, there isn't anybody that you can realistically expect to score at the required 12 and over. So
Taylor.
really, it's well, it's just been a mess of a run chase. If we're honest, let's call it what it is. You know, a power play of 29 for 2, 4 overs that produced only 7 runs between overs 1 and 6. It's just been a dog's breakfast of a run chase, really. You wouldn't plan it that way, and you wouldn't expect many times out of 10 or 100 even to win after a power play like that.
Well, Miles is being quietly effective here. No runs of the first 4 balls in this over, and that target of 68's a long way away. Can the Rapids find one more fight back from an unlikely position? Taylor waits. He's on the charge. He's drilled that down the ground. Cracking stroke. Saw a couple of those against Derbyshire. Used his feet, crunched it down the ground, and Miles taking evasive action, and he took his head off. Bowling in the end, toe end from Taylor, means it'll be another dot ball. 5 in that over. Five overs to go. Right at the pointy end of things, the run rate getting up towards 13. Taylor and Hose touch gloves. Danny Briggs 3 for 24. A good evening he's had, and as much as you'd like to see off a bowler that's been that productive, there aren't enough overs left. Hose on strike. Cut away for 2. Wayward throw. No danger of overthrows.
When you think that Danny Briggs came on to bowl when he did, Jim, 3 overs, no maidens, 3 for 24, is a pretty impressive return, isn't it? In some ways as impressive as the innings played for the Bears earlier on in terms of its shaping of the game, really.
78 for 2 was the score when he took Gareth Roderick's wicket.
They've
37.
They've just been too good, haven't they, tonight, to be fair. Have we got a new mascot?
Well, I can talk you through this, Frank, if you'd like.
I thought you would be able to.
Yeah.
That's why I asked.
It is of sorts. It transpires that Warwickshire didn't send their mascot over, so
Okay.
Worcestershire have provided them one.
Oh, right, okay.
And it's
That's very kind.
It's a Care
And it's
Bear.
a bear.
It's a Care Bear.
So Worcestershire have lent Warwickshire a bear.
Yeah, well, they've called it the No One Cares Bear, which seems a little
I
bit
saw
mean.
about the. I
Yeah.
saw that. Oh, I see. So it's part of the
I think
the
it's
social media banter between the two clubs, isn't it? That's a fantastic shot, that, by Adam Hose. Because Danny Briggs has only just given him a little bit of room outside the off stump, and he's gone on the back foot and opened his stance and hit it between two fielders on the cover boundary. Magnificent shot. So the No One Cares Bear is a bit of fun between the two teams, presumably.
It is indeed, yes.
I say this because Niles the crocodile and Ali the alligator are out there, and they've been joined by a blue inflatable bear, presumably with somebody inside it, because it's moving rather like a human being. And they're about to go and fire some T-shirts into the crowd. But the crowd's a bit subdued, unfortunately, by what they've seen out in the middle. However, that is a sensational shot from Tom Taylor. Reverse hit, not reverse sweep, reverse switch hit over backward point, 1 bounce 4. End of the over, 9 runs, 13 runs came from it, in fact 126 for 6 at the end of 16. So it was a good over, but they need plenty more of those. They need 13 and over every time, actually, if they're going to stand a chance. And they are 126 for 6. My grandson would love one of those T-shirts that you're desperately appealing for, Jim, but they're not going to send one here into the commentary box.
Well, I think it's important to actually acknowledge it is a hot day. Frank and I are pretty hot. We're just about keeping our composure. It's hot for the players, but won't someone think of the mascots?
Think of the mascots.
Because we've got a lad in an inflatable, an enclosed tent essentially, and then two. Actually, they're not real. They're sort of dispelling the myth of it.
Granson didn't get one. He nearly got one. He's got a Vitality Plus T-shirt though. He's got all he's wearing on. Maybe it is one. I don't know. Do they do black ones? Goodness me, he's got one. Oh my goodness, that's made my night. I'm not quite as chuffed as I would have been if the Rapids had managed to pull this off, but my grandson managed to get one of the T-shirts, and it wasn't a fix. But as you say, Jim, we're not missing any cricket, by the way. Drinks being taken. Niall and Ali are in these fur coats, these fur suits, and I would imagine the temperature inside is probably in excess of 50 degrees.
Yeah, that's a health and safety concern, isn't it? I'm a bit worried about the lad who's just in the ladies' pavilion away to our right, who got himself a Scatterblast T-shirt, took his normal T-shirt off to reveal a hairy and, let's face it, incredibly pink torso. I think he's been in the sun a bit too long. He's a little bit lobster, but he was very happy. He even gave us a little muscle flex as well. Well done, sir. Anyway, enough of that. We've got a game of cricket on.
So here we go. Can they score 13 and over off the last 4? It's not impossible. 51 off 4, but somebody will have to do something pretty amazing.
In comes Hassan Ali, Hose on strike, deep in the crease he goes. Heave round the corner, that's going to be 4. Too short, a little bit leg side, and Adam Hose helps it round the corner. Lovely little flick, bisects the 2 fielders there. Barnard and Mousley out in the deep on the leg side. Hose gets the better of both of them, 130 for 6. 47 to win. In comes Hassan Ali again. Again Hose deep in his crease. Looks to guide that away. off the splice, so it's just going to be a dot ball. Good response that from Hassan Ali. As you say, Frank, it's 13 and over. Adam Hose, though, has found his way onto 41 from 29. If Worcestershire are going to pull off a miraculous victory, he's going to have to do a lot of heavy lifting. He awaits Hassan Ali, and he comes.
Well bowled.
It's another belter, isn't it? It's another dot ball. And this is the challenge.
I think, you know, if you're going to get 13 over off the last 4, and don't get me, I know it's happened in Big Bash, IPL, international T20s, etc. Not only when it happens, you usually have a couple of gun batsmen, but somebody's got to bowl pretty badly, haven't they, to do that? And it's not going to happen, is it, with the way these guys have bowled tonight, I think.
Again, good full delivery.
Oh my goodness. Oh, we've got a runner out there. I thought we were going to have a run out. We've got a run out. So so Adam Hose has pulled up, has he?
Yeah.
Yeah, Adam Hose has pulled up. So Ethan Brooks is out there running for him. So it's, just to add to a bit more chaos. Not good news with another game coming up. But I think, to be fair, Worcestershire's hopes of qualification will end tonight.
Well, we'll come back to that as Hassan Ali is in, and it's drilled down the ground. It's only half stopped there by Tom Latham, so they'll get a couple. Bludgeoned down the ground. Not quite.
Right,
not quite.
okay, not quite.
Results would have to go their way, they'd have to win out against Leicestershire and Nottinghamshire. So in theory, on run rate, I think they could still do it. Unlikely. Yeah. But chip and a chair. If you've got a chip and a chair, you're still in the game. In comes Hassan Ali again. Taylor goes deep in his crease. It's good delivery. Cut him in half.
Great over, isn't it?
Well, from that 4 first up to respond, just 4 more runs from the following 5 deliveries. It's really good quality stuff. And as you say, Frank, in these situations, is that you do often need a bowler to lose their head and lose their line. And these are, well, very skilled operators.
Yeah, it's not. It would have to be a mess, I think, a mess up of epic proportions, really. They've still got 4 wickets in hand, but 43 off 3. You've got to get 20 off one of those, and Richard Gleeson coming back in is unlikely to be a man to concede 20. He's bowled 3 overs for 18 so far. Garton 3 overs for 16. Hassan Ali 3 overs for 22. Craig Miles 3 overs for 21. These figures tell their own story, I think. Worcestershire bowling wasn't loose. Nobody was particularly expensive either, but it's just been, and then, you know, I haven't said the key. Danny Briggs 4 overs, no maidens, 3 for 37, and the batsmen that he sent back, Roderick, Brooks and Dwarshus, well, say no more. A good performance by the Bears, and in many ways a good performance by the Rapids, but not at the start of their innings. I think that's fair, isn't it? That's probably what they'd look back on and say, well, it was that power play that derailed our performance in this game. We pulled ourselves back into it very nicely early on. Oh, we're going to have a run out. No, he's got in. Well, goodness me.
Through to the wrong end there, I think.
Tom Taylor pipped it away on the leg side, wanted to, hesitated, slipped, then decided to come. And as you say, they're thrown to the other end. You've always got a chance. When I was out there, I always used to feel, and I was a wicket-keeper involved in run-outs quite often, I used to feel if there's a runner there, always expect the possibility of a run-out. Any one of the 3 can be out, of course. O's standing well out of the action at the moment, the injured man, out at backward square leg. That's Gleeson bowls. And Taylor hits him for 6. That's as good a shot as we've seen all night. absolutely nailed that one. Hit through the line, over the top of long off, and hope remains while Tom Taylor can play shots like that. That really was outstanding strike down the ground, beautifully played, caught in the crowd, I think. 142 for 6. Needs another one in this over. He waits now. Gleeson will be looking for the Yorker, I imagine. He's in, he bowls, and he has got it away on the leg side, but he's caught. Didn't quite get hold of it. Caught it long on, and cue celebrations from fielder down at long on. There's Craig Miles, took it well in front of the Worcestershire fans down there, and with that wicket, I'm sure, goes Worcestershire's last hope. 142 for 7 in the 18th over. They still need a further 35 runs to win as Fateh Singh comes out to join the injured Adam Hose.
Do you know what? I'm just seeing Adam Finch go through his warm-ups, getting himself loose, Frank.
And you're thinking back?
I'm thinking back to Yorkshire a couple of years ago, 19 off the last over.
Yep.
I'm gonna stay positive. We're still in this. 35 to win. It is a tough ask. Chip on a chair, Frank. Fight to the last. It's been a good display by the Bears bowling unit. Difficult for the top order for Worcestershire.
Dot ball first up to Singh. Garton will probably bowl another one, won't he? Hassan Ali will certainly, maybe Miles. They've got lots of options actually. Danny Briggs the only one who's bowled out, although Gleeson will be bowled out after this over. So Danny Briggs 4 overs, no maidens, 3 for 37. Gleeson just the 1 wicket, but he's only gone for 26. Comes in now again and bowls to Singh, who is beaten again outside the off stump. Clever change of pace, I think, from Gleeson. So may have gone for 8 off the first 2 balls of the over, but he's come back pretty well with a wicket and 2 dots. So pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's just knowing tail enders, adrenaline flowing, know they've got to try and hit boundaries, holding the bat a little bit too hard, take the pace off. Really good stuff.
And another dot. So what a finish to the over from Gleeson. 4 overs, no maidens, 1 for 26, his figures. And as I say, when you look down the bowling figures and you compare them with the Worcestershire bowling figures, they're not that dissimilar. You've got the standout 3 for 30 from Dorshus, 3 for 37 from Briggs, but they're maybe just a little bit, just 3 or 4 runs each bowler, a bit tighter, and you just look back to the start really again. And I know I keep going on about it, but it shaped the entire response to that first innings.
Right, Hassan Ali coming in from the New Road end. Hose on strike. He's absolutely crunched that for 6. He may not be able to run, but he can still back. That is in the road. Wow! And as unlikely as it is, Worcestershire will not go away. The Rapids are not giving up. What a crunching straight drive that is. And as Frank, as you've been saying, as they desperately try and find this ball, is that Worcestershire haven't played bad cricket.
No.
Well, this tournament,
they have, but for half an hour tonight.
Well,
yeah.
Yes, my point was going to be that the biggest problem they've had actually in the past 7-8 games is part of wicket 1 and wicket 2. Yeah. So the top of the order, the opening partnership hasn't been working, it hasn't been firing, and Isak Mohammed is trying to make his way in the game. Admittedly, Brett Oliveira is not in the best of form.
Yeah.
And you think that's, at the moment, really, Worcestershire are finding their way to be competitive and winning games of cricket in spite of this, the shortcomings of the top order. Now we've got a super talented young player who's got a really bright future in the game, and in Brett Oliveira, a highly talented cricketer who got his career best in this competition a little bit earlier in the season, but just the past couple of matches have been tough for him. And against really high quality bowling, it's doubly difficult. But Hose has started this over well. They've found a ball, which is good news. Hassan in again. He's looking to smoke this one, but it's gone up rather now. It's a proper skyer. A man underneath it should take it. He shelled it, and they're going to pick up 2. You would have felt if that had been held on to, Frank, that might well have been the end of things. You can hear the catcalls, the cheers and the whooping from the Worcestershire fans. They know that while Adam Hose is still there swinging his big bat, they're still alive. 29 to win. 10 balls to go.
Was it Ed Barnard or was it Tom Latham?
Good Fuller delivery. They'll think about 2. You feel like they have to go for 2, and they do. And it's run out. Fateh Singh has to go. Big shouts of "Come on, Finchy!" Adam Finch.
I reckon that was out.
It was out, yeah. But no matter, it brings the Worcester Carlos Brathwaite out to the wicket, Frank. Adam Finch, remember the name, 19 to win.
Number 61, Adam Finch.
Well, this time it's 29 to win. He'll be at the non-strikers end. Hose is batting on one leg. Hose one shy of a very well earned 50. Singh was slightly more positive in his running. He might well have gotten back. I just feel that they've got to eke out every possible run. Got to be backing up. Finchy's come down to have a chat with Adam Hose. Adam Hose has sent him back quite quickly and said, just stand here and watch this. 49, not out, Adam Hose. 26 to win. It's a thickish edge, and you talk about having a runner. Ethan Brooks out there at square leg. May well have been a single there. It's turned down, and again another dot ball. It's been difficult enough for the top order. Asking tail enders as well. Finch isn't on strike to deal with this kind of calibre of bowling. 2 balls to go in the over. Hose on strike, looking for a scoop. That is possibly the least elegant dismissal you will see in the game, and you've got a feel for Adam Hose. Injured, looking to play a scoop. And it's an unfortunate end to a brilliant innings. One that got him 51. He did everything he could despite injury, but unfortunately he has to depart. And it means that Kumran Shahzad comes out to the wicket. Worcestershire staring down the barrel. As Adam Hose makes his way off the park. Very warm round of applause and cheers from the home crowd. That 20-run partnership right at the end of the Bears innings, that clean hitting from George Garton, getting them up to 176. And that slow start, those dot balls at the top of the Worcestershire innings, that's the difference. As Frank said, the figures aren't too dissimilar. That's a lovely shot from Kumran Shahzad. They'll look for 2. It should be 2. In the end, Finch has run 2, but they'll only get 1 because he's come halfway down to meet his batting partner and sent him back. Well, we are going to go to a final over. And the requirement is 25 from the last 6 deliveries. And although I am definitely the optimist of us two, Frank, I'm definitely well, let's just see what happens. Anything can happen. Be brave. Fight to the last. This does seem an impossible task, you have to say.
Dan Mousley's going to bowl it. No, he's not. They've changed their mind. He was. Dan Mousley was going to bowl it, but Craig Miles is going to bowl it now.
Well, the last over of the innings for theirs. Number 18, Craig Miles. Rapids need 25 to win. Come on, Rapids.
Hassan Ali. 4 overs. No maidens. 3 for 32. Pretty good performance from Hassan Ali. Bowled at various times. Swing and a miss from Shahzad. It's all over, I'm afraid, despite the optimism of my colleague. And I think, if we're honest, the Bears have played the more measured game of cricket tonight.
Yeah, I feel like
they would be very disappointed with the later part of their innings, but enough people played well, didn't they? And probably that is the difference, really. Not a huge amount in it. Well, a lot of effort went into that, but not much.
4 sixes wins it, Frank. We're still in this. Come on, we're still in this. No, look, I think it comes down to it, really. I think Worcestershire did a very good job of restricting a very potent Bears batting lineup to a par score. I think the difference in the batting performance is that, though it wasn't explosive at times, is that they just looked more fluid at the crease, Birmingham. Just a little bit more scratchy from a Rapids perspective. Too many dot balls. As Finch looks to whack one, Latham's underneath it. Will he catch it? It's a brilliant grab. It's a fabulous grab from the New Zealander. And it's going to mean that the Rapids are defeated here. And Frank, you said they haven't played bad cricket at all, but this Bears side, very well run outfit, good with bat and ball, excellent against Lancashire, excellent here tonight as well. Got less with the bat than they'd have hoped, but those front line pace bowlers have been excellent tonight. The Rapids bowled out for 153, 24 runs shy of a potential victory target. And although Rapids on the wrong end of things this evening, they have been fighting and battling to keep their hopes of a quarter-final alive. They're not done just yet.
Thank you all very much for your support here this evening.
And we'll get to do this all over again on Sunday.
Congratulations to our
Double header against Leicestershire, the women's Rapids in action first.
Thank you for your support. Don't forget to have a green way.
Craig Miles finishes with figures of 3.2 overs, no maidens, 3.3 overs, no ends, 2 for 22. Great catch to finish it off. A couple of stats that are relevant, I think, Jim. We're here just to say what happened, but there were 9 wides bowled by the Rapids tonight, and only 2 bowled by the Bears. That's a factor, and for me, as I've repeatedly said, but yet you can't deny, the influential periods of the game. Worcestershire having dragged themselves right back into it, a mess of a power play. It was muddled. It was at times a little bit puzzling, really. 22 dot balls in the power play, 29 for 2 in a power play, meaning you're chasing 177 to win. You are always going to struggle, and they didn't recover from that. They simply didn't recover it.
Here's a stat for you: 63 dot balls across the innings.
Yeah,
63. So that's 7.5 overs without scoring a run, and that's key when the margin's 24. And as is the way. But look, again, this is a Rapid side in development, and a lot of that was a young lad who's trying to find his way in the game. He has a propensity to want to try and whack the casing off the ball. But we also saw some super impressive power hitting from him. And he's just a young lad, 17 years old. Brett D'Oliveira, well, he'll be hoping to find some form. One of fire at the top of the order. Got to win the next 2 games, both of them here at Visit Worcestershire New Road. And there is still hope, despite disappointment this evening, as the sun starts to disappear from this glorious outfield and the fans make their way to the exits. It has been defeat for the Rapids, but we are glad to have had your company this evening. We'll be back with you on Sunday, as I say, a double header between Worcestershire and Leicestershire Foxes. The women first up, then the men later on. So get yourself down there. Still a few tickets left. And of course, we finish things out with Nottinghamshire Outlaws on the Thursday. But from myself, Jim Dale, and from Frank Watson, thank you for your company this evening, and we'll wish you good night.